on, then log back on.
No, no, I am not missing the fun. I don't care what they say. Let me oh, I gotta go clock out. I'm just getting dressed. You know, when you work from home, you walk around in your drawers all day. So I gotta put some clothes on so I can get on up out of here. But I do wanna address the prompt. Let me clock out real quick.
Oh shit, you want Trump to impose censorship? Are you really for the fascism? You really for the bullshit? Yeah, when during the whole pandemic time, I was working from home, and I swear, just being able to like, I throw my little dress on,
Mhm.
do my little camera time, do my lunch break, I go lay down and stuff. Like, I miss those times. I just keep saying I need to find me a work from home job. I've been looking. I think I need to be I need to start asking more questions because I don't know if I'm doing this right.
I need to. I think when I get back, because I'll probably get back before it's time for me to clock back in. I'm gonna do what you told me to do on the Chat GPT.
Hmm.
See what it comes up with. Because at this point, nobody qualified for no jobs these days. So let me start getting a lion like the rest of y'all. I've been trying to keep my integrity and pretend, for a little bit about knowing about a few things, but now I'm gonna just straight out lie. Yeah, I got a master's degree and see what I can get. Cause Lord,
I don't know because I got a master's degree and I'm struggling. So
Wait, what?
I think in this day and age, it's all about networking. Hey,
What?
Charmaine.
What's up, Tara? What's up, Ali? I'm like, what? You said you struggling. Struggling for what?
Cool.
my jobs.
For
Tara
me,
said, yeah, you said you was struggling. I'm
yeah,
like,
I'm
what you?
I'm trying to find I want to work from home. But the
Oh,
reason
okay.
why it's such a struggle is because my job burns me out. So like when I get home from work, I just don't have like the mental capacity to get anything done. And then like on the weekends, like I'm so tired, I'm like catching up on rest. So that's the struggle.
Okay, now I understand that part. And you still ain't
I
found one
don't
yet?
I don't really want to talk about all that right now, to be honest.
Okay.
But yeah, it's one day.
Ali, how you doing, Pookie?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, I look, I finally started doing my workouts again, so that's what that is. But I kind of hurt my ankle today, so I don't even know if I'm still gonna do my workout, but it's gonna take me a second.
You gotta take it easy. Hold out real quick, y'all, because in the beginning of live, if I'm too off topic and people start leaving, so let me cover what I'm talking about real quick.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, men offer protection because they're stuck in survival mode. When a man comes to you, he say like, "Men, we offer protection," right? I think a lot of times we, even though it's like we get caught up like protection from what were you talking about? We also understand like it's a worldview that we have, right? So we have this idea that um we're not idea like our worldview is shaped by our experiences, the culture we're part of, um opportunity, so on and so forth. For somebody to constantly be talking about protection, that means mentally that's where they are. So like if I'm saying, "Oh, I'm gonna protect you from this and I'm gonna protect you for that." And it made me really think about it yesterday when the guy was talking about we modern day heroes and shit. Because a lot of men had a superhero trope. So like when women grow up with that, the Disney princess wanting to be saved bullshit, like that's something we have to deconstruct. Men have this weird ass superhero trope. Like when they watch a superhero movie, they in their minds envision they are the protagonist, and that's how those things are made anyway. So they feel like, oh, I'm here to save the world. I'm that guy, right? And it doesn't matter if what he's saying isn't reality, because most people don't have self awareness anyway, right? Um, Thanks, Monica. Monica, you might can't use that raccoon when you find out what it's for. But what I was saying. Oh yeah, so like a lot of these men, their worldview is to be in survival mode. And the thing is, a lot of times we say, well, how is it that men can like have like really rough childhoods and go through a lot of obstacles in life and traumatic situations, and yet a woman can go through that same situation and pan out much better. And what happens is processing. So we really I don't know if we speak enough on how important it is to speak about your experiences, to like have somebody you can share those experiences with, especially if somebody who can relate. I know we talk about therapy, but even in community, amongst groups, being comfortable enough to be vulnerable. You know how sometimes you might be holding back and you open it up and that shit just feels so freeing. So the way men are socialized, they're not supposed to talk about those things. Even when they're around other men who have similar experiences, it's not allowed. It's like we can talk about the game, we can talk about, getting women, how we making money, but we can't sit here and talk about our feelings, right? And because of that, we see a lot of men who go to women for emotional support and stability. And it's not healthy because there's also a level of misogyny there where he feels entitled to emotional labor. And because he feels entitled, it's not a give and take. It's just he's just taking from you. And eventually, it leads men to be very possessive of women because deep it is deep-seated fear of abandonment there also. Because if you feel like you always have to wear a mask and you can't open up about who you truly are and you're performing, the fear is that if somebody knew who you were, they will reject you. So because of that fear, and it's go all the way back to their childhood, they are terrified of abandonment. And this is why men do shit like they play mental mind games like, oh, I don't really want you like you want me. They try to get you to chase after them. When you're in a relationship, they neg you, they try to beat you down. There is a multitude of things that we see men do, right? Besides even the men who are abusive, financially, physically, emotionally, to kind of like make you stuck so that you can't leave them. And this is why the conversation about men not actually caring about kids is so important, because for them, it's like, okay, if you had my child, then you're stuck with me. And it's annoying because they also use gaslighting and projection. So they'll convince women, like in society, it's not even like this one guy. In society, men convince women that, oh, y'all just be trying to have children to attract men. But if we look around and see all the single mothers out here, we know that's not true. And on the back end, when you talk to a lot of other women who are single mothers, you realize what happens is they're in relationships with these men, and if they're trying to get them to have any valuable time with the children, the men will do things like, oh, are you going to be there? Can I come over the house? So it's like he don't just want the kids, he want access to her. And in some situations, men will take the kids in order to control that woman. Again, it's all rooted in that deep-seated abandonment issues. It's another reason why men, when they, especially in a heterosexual relationship, men put this persona on their partner that like, oh, that's like it becomes like a mother child relationship. It's so weird. But the thing we need to really consider is that if these men are walking around constantly in a state of fear, this constant state of survival, right? We don't realize it. We just say, "Oh, this motherfucker crazy. This is weird what he's saying." Yeah, we know might be dangerous, but if they what they thinking all the time. Like imagine let me not say that. Let's just say that when a man comes to you and say he's trying to protect, he is a dangerous person. He's a loose cannon because he is stuck in survival mode. And although survival mode for the person could be very detrimental, it could be also dangerous for people around them. Because if I'm in survival mode, I'm hyper vigilant. I'm constantly on the watch out. I'm constantly looking for what's going on, what's wrong. I can't live in peace and just be chatting up with you and building a connection. It's all about me trying to protect myself. That's what it is. It's not protection for you. I'm trying to protect myself. I need you to be in this relationship with me. I need you to help me higher my status. Because I need protection. I need the men to accept me. I need to be able to dominate. Because if I can't, then I'm small, I'm weak, I'm vulnerable. Even the way that we define strength in our society is so fucking crazy how backwards it is. This idea that like, oh, a person who is, we think strong and muscular and guarded, that's strength, but that's actually vulnerability. And that's a defense mechanism. When you, what do we say? If you see a bear or something like that, you're supposed to puff up your chest and look big and scare them away. Literally, that's what they're doing. To real strength is to go in this place where you feel like you have to be vulnerable. You have to be open and you not worrying about what the person could say to you. But in order to be able to do that, there's a certain level of healing that needs to happen. And if you haven't done a healing, which is the byproduct of not processing, then what end up happening is you are in constant fear that this person's going to see the real you and expose you, and it goes back to that abandonment issue. So like these things are connected in how men are dangerous. The fact that they're in survival mode is not a good thing. They need to work on that. But like men don't listen to women. I ain't here to talk to that. Y'all know who the audience is, but a man will come to you and say he protecting women is a dangerous motherfucker. That's in a nutshell.
I'll be wanting the main question I'll be asking, and I have yet to have any man to answer that. Protection from what though?
Well, hold on, Charmaine. Hold on, Charmaine. I don't. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't want to start to be protection about anything. I'm trying to talk about something different because
No,
that's what
I
I was
know
saying.
what
Oh no,
you're
listen to
talking
what I'm
about.
saying. Listen to what I'm saying. That's what we get stuck on. We always get stuck on protection for what? What are you talking about? And then we have an argument based on the examples that they're giving us. But what I'm saying is we got to actually stop and think. Like, so empathy isn't just accepting, like having like emotion, like a feeling bad for somebody, or like being able to connect with somebody who's going through something. Empathy is being able to take on somebody's point of view, even in all scenarios and all emotions, and to understand that while you're sitting here having a back and forth and like, what are you talking about? Of course, he has no explanation for it because his hypervigilance is not him living in reality. It's about him needing to protect himself. So all I'm just saying is my
That's the
goal
main point
today,
I'm
hold on, let me
asking.
finish, Charmaine. My goal today is to stay away from the examples. Because
I
that's
get
we
that,
always,
but that's the point I'm
Charmaine, why
asking.
you cut me off?
I didn't.
Oh no, let me finish, please.
Oh,
I'm trying to stay away from the examples because that's how they gaslight us all the time. They get us caught up on the fucking examples. And then we spend hours, days, fucking years arguing about the 2 o'clock in the morning. Nobody's coming. Of course, it does not make sense. Today, my goal was to talk to men essentially, why do you think like that? Why are you thinking that somebody's constantly coming after you? Why do you think you have to constantly be in a mode that you got to protect people? Motherfucker, we on vacation. We in a fucking well, they don't go on vacation. Let's say you home at night, the doors are locked, ain't nobody coming, it's peaceful. Why are you so worried somebody about to come through the door and grab you? Like, where is that fear coming from? That's what I'm saying.
that's the part I was talking about.
Okay.
Again, protection from what though? Because if you not, but if you like, what is the point of the need of you wanting to be to wanting to have this so-called emphasis of protection? That's the whole point, and we know they're gonna give the whole example situation, but that's the part that bugs. That's the part that also bugs me. If you, my thing is again, what is he protecting himself or others from? From what? Is it from himself?
Yeah.
That's
Um,
what I'm trying to figure out.
I like the part, Tara, that you was talking about how men feel like they're kind of being pulled in two different directions. Like it's almost like they're in between a rock and a hard place where they want the family, they want the kids because for optic purposes it looks good and it does raise the bar for them from a social standard, but they can't help but to feel susceptible to danger. And that's when they, throw on their cape, um, while still yet not admitting that they are living in like this virtual reality world, where they literally feel it seems like they're suffering from some type of PTSD. And from the people that I talk to just through my line of work who experience those type of things, it's not a satisfying or fulfilling life. Like to constantly be in a state of fear, to always think that somebody is either watching you or coming after you. That I mean, the quality of life is not the like the most sought after. Let me say it that way. And so I agree. Like we do need to unpack like where that is coming from. Like why do you feel like the boogeyman is coming after you? And then and only then maybe we could understand why that is such a need for them.
Yeah, and then I agree. And to kind of piggyback off what Charmaine said, also it's like, why is this fear so pervasive in our society? Because when we see something reoccurring that often, there's a reason for it. And not that we need to solve a problem for men, but because women are subjugated by men, we need to know how they're thinking. We need to know how they're being programmed in order to protect ourselves. What's up, TikToker?
Yo,
Good afternoon.
Yeah, you can mute up. I ain't calling you yet. Go ahead, TikToker.
yo, hello, it paused. Can y'all hear me?
No,
We can hear you.
you can hear you fine.
Oh, all right. So, we offer protection because it's in our nature. We're inherently stronger than you. So, if you were like a smart business person or a boss, you will put a person in their place. Like you will give them a role that better fits their attributes. So, with us being stronger, it only makes sense for us to be a natural protector by nature. So I think so, like, some people like go extreme with it, like they don't know how to do it, so they're still searching for how to do it in like a balanced way.
What you mean they don't know how to do it?
So some people might be, we all heard this term, overprotective, like it'll be like out of a place of maybe or something. But I don't know, like you could be overprotective and you could just like do it the perfect way, like how I do it. So anybody looking for somebody, I'm right here.
What's the perfect way though?
The perfect way is how I do it.
Oh, you don't want to share that?
It's like sharing like my deepest secret.
Okay. So who told you that it was in your nature?
When I arm wrestled somebody in third grade, that happened to be a girl. And I was like way stronger than her.
And you was like, oh, this is in my nature?
Yeah, cause I was like, I love all humans, so we need to protect the least the least strongest vessel, so we all can be like perfect harmony.
And you was thinking that in third grade?
Mm-hmm.
So even like the fourth and the fifth graders who could whoop your ass, you like, oh, I'm the protector?
Yes.
Huh. Protecting what though? Because you're not protecting that girl you arm wrestling. So who was you trying to protect?
Myself. But when we become a marriage, we're one. So that's why I become your protector. Or we're a relationship, however
Here's
you
my
view it.
question. Here's my question. Do you see a lot of women coming to men and asking them for protection? Or do you see more men going to women and offering them protection?
I would say it's more women asking for protection.
Just the people, just the women, if y'all can y'all know yes is smiley face and crying face emoji is no. Have you ever asked a man for protection?
Just think about the
No,
whole
no, no, no,
feminist
no.
movement.
Hold on, real quick. I'm trying to see something real quick. Those were in the comments. If you ever asked for, went to a man and asked for protection, smiley face emoji. If you never went to a man and asked him for protection, you could do crying face emoji. And I'm not talking about services like the cops and stuff, because everybody call the fucking cops. Let's see. I'm trying to see who put yes. Oh, TikToker, you can't. I said the poll was just for women. Why would you do the poll?
It doesn't seem fair.
How is it not fair if you just said women? I asked you a very specific question. I said, are men offering protection to women or women asking for protection? And then you said women are more women are asking for protection. I said, okay, let me ask the women who are down in the comments. Okay,
All right.
hold
So
up, pause. And then you did the survey. Why did you do the survey, and how is that unfair?
all right. So somebody getting a woman getting their purse snatched. Would they run to a man first, nearby, or a
No, I'm
woman?
talking about the survey.
The survey was biased.
How is it biased?
Under many pretenses, it was biased by way of most of your audience being women and misandrous.
So here's the thing. I ain't gonna argue Miss Sanders because like that shit might actually track. But my question for you is, are you not biased?
I'm actually not biased. I might come into a train of thought bias, but as a adult, I think the whole way out, and I end up with an unbiased decision.
And who told you that you're not biased?
My day-to-day peers. I never been called biased, so I would just have to assume that
Is
I'm
it
not
possible that
biased.
they just don't use the word bias?
Excuse me.
Is it possible that they just don't use the word bias?
Yeah, they have. Yeah, it's a pretty common word. So
Also, do you know what confirmation bias is?
painfully unsmart is not true.
No, we're
Um,
not talking. If you want to talk to the comments, you can go down the extra question.
confirmation bias.
Yeah, what's confirmation bias?
I'm not sure what that is.
So, is it possible that the people you hang around, y'all have like you connect with people with similar views as yourself?
Nah.
So you find people who have vastly different views than you, and you like this is my community.
Well, when you're in a lot of different venues and situations, you will tend to surround yourself with a lot of connections that you don't typically agree with, but y'all have the same end goal in a financial space. So I don't actually like people that agree with everything I say because it makes the conversation not as interesting.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. So the whole protection thing, how how often do you feel like you need to protect yourself? Is it like on a monthly basis, a weekly basis? Is it something that occurs every day, throughout the day?
Protection is, well, you can plan protect. Like, you don't have to just be on guard all day.
That's what
So
I'm asking you, for you specifically, like how often throughout the day do you feel like you need to protect yourself?
24 hours.
And like what are you protecting yourself from? Like a scenario that's like running through your mind constantly that you're protecting yourself from.
There's no scenario, but we all have the inevitable thing of becoming unalive. So you want to prolong your life in the best way you can, right?
So, when do you feel safe? Like what's what this one place you go to, you like you could just like let your guard down.
Good question. I would say in the home.
So when you home, you can let your guard down. You're not worried about anybody breaking in. You're not worried about anything. Doors are locked. You can protect yourself. You good.
Yes. But I'm still protecting myself by taking the measures to have adequate security and measures just in case.
How would you feel if you didn't have those measures? Let's say you was in a home and you didn't have anything to protect yourself. You didn't have whatever devices you got set up. How would you think you feel at the end of the day?
I would be paranoid. It depends on the situation. If I'm just there on a whim, like I got dragged there or a mutual friend, we ended up there, I would kind of feel paranoid.
And um, how many people in society you think feel like that? Hey Mia.
I'm the intelligent one, so maybe a couple.
Oh, so you feel like the being in a state of constant like trying to protect yourself is something only people who have intelligence do?
We already agreed that it's not constant. See,
Well,
you tried to
no. It's not that serious. It's not constant. Got it. It's fine. It's not that serious. But you saying that like it only applies to those who are intelligent.
agree.
And how do you like measure this intelligence? Like, what do you mean? How do somebody know they one of these intelligent people?
That's for their life to show out, I guess. It's not for me
Well,
to
how
say.
do you measure it for yourself?
Oh, by myself, I would say, well, how perfect, like, let's just say it's a score on every decision you make throughout the day. I'm like at 100% on a bad day. So the average person would probably be 50%, 30%. Probably just let the day take down. I take on my day.
So let me make sure I'm clear. From your perspective, anybody who's not taking these precautionary measures, it's not that it's because they lack the intelligence or the know with how to do it. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's why you teach your children not to go up to vans and accept candy from strangers, right? You have to build their intelligence as well. So protecting yourself is a way of keeping yourself alive.
So let me ask you one other question. What's the point of living?
To enjoy it.
And can you enjoy life if you are if your protection is always in the back of your mind?
I feel like it becomes to a point where it's not like a detriment. It's more so like, yes, I feel like I'm protected, so it's more of a relief.
All right, so you say you took on this mentality back in third grade, right?
Approximately around that time.
You're like 8 years old. Is it possible that since you've been in this mindset since you're 8 years old, you wouldn't know any other way to think of it?
If I wasn't adequately taught, I would agree. I would be, what's the word? Ignorant to how to protect myself. Yes, I do.
So what is freedom?
Freedom is what I have.
Can you describe it for us?
The states of being not bound.
Is that physically bound or mentally bound?
Either or.
So now I'm curious of what you consider mentally bound.
Mentally bound. Mm. Yeah. Okay, so let's just say trauma, vices. That's the way you combine your mind. Things like that.
And do you think trauma has impacted the way you think and the way you move throughout the world?
I would say things of trauma are like pop quizzes, right? So it's all about how you react to the things and how you get the score back from how you reacted to see like, was this situation, how could it be like, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't even know, I lost my train of thought. But how can it be like avoid it? Okay, that was the easy word to think of. Avoid it in a sense. So like, let's say I get a pop quiz, traumatic event happens, I respond to it in a like angry way or like not thinking. I get my score back. I ended up with a scar because I acted in the wrong way. Let's just say the same pop quiz, I get taken and I act in it in a thoughtful way. I take my biased thoughts and I make a unbiased decision. And then I overcome the traumatic event, and I pass the quiz. So trauma and protecting yourself from things that can cause trauma is not a bad thing in a sense. And I don't think men offer protection. I just think it's an inherited nature within being a man.
So here's my thing, because when you said earlier that women are more likely to go to men for protection, I can tell you for a fact, a lot of women, we don't operate like that. And our protection actually comes from us building community with each other. Why should a woman leave the protection of her community to live a life with you?
Oh, I'm personally not begging or
Okay,
asking you for
let's
that.
say, okay, not you, but with a man who's thinking the way you are.
Why would they want to? Um, like I said earlier, it would be like you're a boss and you would put somebody in a role that would better fit their attributes. So with us being just stronger, it would be smarter to use us for protection.
No, listen to what I'm saying. You gotta really listen to what I'm saying, okay?
All right.
Women find protection in numbers. We get our protection from community. And our protection isn't always like physical protection. It's like when you say like you take the trauma, you assess it and give yourself a score. The way we do, we actually talk about it amongst ourselves and we process it. So it's not like instead of a trauma response and pent up feelings, we actually get it out, right? Mute up or get dropped. So my question for you is, a woman who's in an environment like that, who's protected, right? What incentive is it for her to leave that community of protection to live a life with a man who is thinking about physical protection and living in survival mode? Youngster, I told you to mute up.
Oh, my bad.
I would say to each his own, but I would lean towards the woman and the man coming together, because building a relationship, you would need it in this type of economy we're in, our society, I'll say. Like, it's everybody for themselves. So, like,
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'm saying all these women don't fuck with y'all for real. They be snakes too. Y'all got snakes as well.
Listen. I'm not talking about a specific person or anything. I know how things work in society. I'm saying as a collective, right? Because of our gender binary, we have two distinct cultures that's been pushed on us, right? What I'm saying is because a lot of times men are saying that women need to find a man for the protection. In exchange for that protection, women are supposed to give up. It's supposed to submit to that man, right? Why?
Okay, so I don't agree with that. So,
well, if you don't agree with it, I'm talking about the social contract. That's the social contract. That's how it's set up. You find a man for protection. In exchange for his protection, you're supposed to submit to him. That's the narrative that goes along with it. I'm just curious about what incentive or what benefit do you think it has for a woman to leave one community where she already feels protected and connected to then join to pair up with a man where her protection relies solely on him?
yeah, I wouldn't think that's smart to do.
So do you understand why so many women are rejecting men's pursuit of protecting the idea of being with a man out of the regard of protection?
Okay, so I'm kind of understanding now. So if a man, or I say a dude, leads with protection as the main thing to, like, I don't, like, that's kind of like hanging a dog treat in front of a dog or something. I don't think that's, like, genuine. It's like showing, like, all right, so you might as well get with me because I could protect you like you can't protect yourself. So I feel like that would be a red flag if somebody said that to you, I would say.
But you do know that men say that to women all the time.
I didn't know that.
You even led with it. You said that you feel like men don't lead with protection, women look for men for protection. But that's actually one of the selling points men have for women. Oh, I'm going to protect you. But I don't think men realize that women are not living in that same mindset. Because society tells us the secret you say you have? Society tells us it's acceptable to share that secret with others. And because we can share that secret with other people, we're not holding it in. We're not worried about like people figuring out our secret because we just tell a fucking secret. Like it's not a secret anymore. No big deal. And not only that, we find out that, oh, guess what? All these other people got same secrets too. And like, oh, it doesn't need to be a secret. This is a normal thing that happens. So because men, y'all have rules you have to live by, which is why y'all say stuff like, oh, a real man and stuff like that. Y'all have a distinct set of rules that society impose on you. And when women say men don't realize, they don't see us as people, y'all are unable to empathize with the way we see the world. So when y'all come to us and y'all say stuff, oh, I can protect you, I can provide for you and all these things, you're not understanding that even though this woman is not in a romantic relationship with a man, she still has community, she still has protection.
Yeah, but y'all have a set of rules on y'all too, so
like what?
Like, so just as like we look at women, right? But then we look at bitches. So it's not like y'all don't have it's not like y'all don't have social constructs amongst each other.
Sorry, because you being hella disrespectful. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. No. You can talk that amongst your like friends and shit. Don't do that up here, okay? But here's the thing.
Oh,
No, pause. Just listen. So you admit that there's different sets of rules.
no,
And
I
you
think we have
talk,
the
and I'm
same exact
pretty,
rules.
huh?
I think we have the same exact rules.
You think that expectations for women is the same expectations for men?
When you're talking about like a character standpoint, right?
Period. Like I'm trying to figure out what you thinking.
Yeah, from a character standpoint, yes.
So there's no difference between men and women, is what you're saying? Because that's what I'm hearing.
Not that much of a difference.
So what's the selling point for men then?
The selling point is just one is attracted to the other one is attracted to the other one. So it's an equal selling point amongst both parties. One is not more than the other. We're both just human.
Now I'm just curious. It's interesting because I know you believe in the whole provider protection stance based on what you said.
I said that, all right, to elaborate on that, because you kind of didn't quote me right. I never said women come to men for protection. I said by nature, the men is already stronger. So it would be smarter for them to do that if they wanted to use them in some sort of role or anything.
So, all right, let's go back 2 minutes ago. Do you understand the aha moment you had a second ago, or is it lost?
It's lost.
Okay. What's up, Sagittarius?
Hey, how y'all doing?
I'm good.
Okay. I really love the protection conversation because it gives women our time to shine. So one thing I always tell people, like if you listen to or read certain like pop culture things, you actually learn a lot. So I was engaging in a podcast one day and I came up on a interesting podcast about the Boston choker, right? The Boston unaliver. So during that time, what women did was they actually went to other women for protection. So instead of living alone, they didn't go out and find another man, they found another woman. One reason was because they had no idea who the choker was, right? And it was obviously a man. Why would you go to a man? So women actually came together and they started living together, and it was strength in numbers there. And get yourself and your daughters away. Oh, okay. And also another interesting one I came across was the Night Stalker, and I'm like really interested in Richard Ramirez case. But what happened with Richard Ramirez is that when they went to town hall meetings, the men, they would get up and they would be like, oh, nobody's coming in my house. Nobody's doing this and that. I'm there. And then like 2 days later, that man and his wife, they were unalived. And it was a man there. So in those times where men actually opened themselves up for danger, the women, we found each other and we had community and we came together to protect ourselves.
Yeah,
And
and
that happened more than once, by the way.
I believe it. And I think the interesting thing, especially when we think about like the movies and the media that we consume, like a lot of it's owned by men. So even like the fear that's pushed in some of the media, I feel like it gives you an understanding how like men process things. Which is why the superhero is so important for them. But yeah, I agree. Like, because when I'm going through something, like when I'm really going through something, I'm looking for women. I'm not looking for men. And I think that's the truth for a lot of women. Like when we need to talk things out, when we need somebody to actually listen and give us feedback, we're going to our community of women.
I call my mom before I call my dad. If I call my dad, guess what he's going to say? Call your mom. And guess who my dad calls?
Your mother. And that's the crazy part. A lot of men call them mothers, but yeah, that's interesting. Thank
And
you.
also, Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But listening to podcasters by women who have the same ideologies, who are not rooted in patriarchy, when you listen to that and you actually see how these situations play out and how men are the actual issue, they're the perpetrator in the situation. They're the fake protector, which actually puts a bullseye on you. If we're reading through the list of things for protection, a man is never there. It's a porch light protects you more than a man. A dog that probably won't bite bread protects you more than a man.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying in the beginning. I feel like it's real important for us to understand that it's the worldview that we need to that we should really be digging into and not the examples, because that's another way like men gaslight us with the examples, trying to make, so it's like they have these thoughts, these irrational ass thoughts in this constant state of fear they live in. I'm not saying fears aren't there, and a lot of times they put themselves in a position of fear, but the fact is like they are, what they're trying to do is like bring you into that thinking, and you like, well, that don't make sense, that don't make sense, and you argue about that instead of just saying like, well, why do you think like that in the first place? Like, what's motivating you to like always be afraid of somebody like come to come to cause you harm? And a lot of times it's like, I think it causes physical harm, but I think like what a lot of them aren't understanding is that it's mentally something that they are afraid of being exposed. But yeah, I agree with you. um
They know that men are dangerous, and they know that the capacity that they can go through. It's some
but,
sick
but that's
people.
hold up, no, Sagittarius, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's what I'm saying. Because the argument always goes there. Like, yeah, we know that other men are dangerous, and a lot of shit they say is bullshit. What I'm saying is the whole conversation about the men being dangerous and I can protect you and I can do this and I have this. All that is deflection. All of it is deflection. What they're really afraid of is being exposed. Something deeper. Because remember I was talking about like how men are taught to mask, and like how men say they like, oh, I can't be vulnerable, you're gonna make fun of me. That like when you haven't processed your insecurities and your fears, your biggest fear is being exposed and somebody seeing it. So like they're constantly worrying about putting this persona out, and then we get stuck on like, oh yeah, you hyper vigilant and all that. But at the core of it, what they're really afraid of is you seeing that the trope, the persona that they're portraying isn't them. And they don't feel the strength they're trying to pretend they have. And the example, I don't know if you was here earlier, the example I was saying, like, they say that when you see a bear, you're supposed to make you put your arms up, puff your chest up, look really big, and like growl, just try to scare the bear away. We know that bear can whoop your ass, but you're doing that to protect yourself. So the whole persona of a man being strong and the tall and all the shit they put out there is literally a defense mechanism. So I get the conversation, but I think I guess for me anyway, my curiosity is like, what does this look like on a day to day? Like when I'm sitting here and I'm just talking, what's happening with you? Because we see too many crash outs and men who are hiding stuff to like not understand that they're living in a constant state of fear.
Yeah, I can agree. I mean, I understand what you're saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, because sometimes I think like this as well. Like it's like getting to the root of it. Like what are you really projecting, right? Like what are you really hiding, I guess.
Yeah. And like I said, it's a childhood wound. Literally, it's a childhood wound. Young boys are told they're not supposed to behave in certain ways and they're not supposed to have certain feelings. So even when they're alone and nobody's around, they're policing their fucking thoughts. They're policing like their mannerisms to the point where like the reason why the substance abuse or risk-taking behavior is so higher amongst men is because it's hard for them to just sit and be with themselves. Because like if your fear is yourself, like if you're afraid of yourself, how can you know peace? Prototype, what you want to say?
What's up? I had came up to apologize, but I'm talking
Who you apologizing to?
to you and your panel.
Who on my panel?
No, just the panel in general.
All right, what you apologizing for?
No, what it was about a couple months ago when I had said what I said to Melanie.
Hold on, I gotta drop somebody. Charmaine, you can come back. I'm gonna let
All
hold
right.
on, cause me and Nita be here for this one. Hold up, real quick. Can y'all I'm looking for what's that? 4 more subscribers. I'm gonna match the other 4. If y'all can subscribe, support the live. Go ahead, Mia.
Yeah, yeah. Hey y'all, because I want to be up here for this apology. I want to be up here. So let me
Hey,
go
can
on
we?
mute so I can hear it.
But can we get a screen recording because the person who was hurt, she's not here.
No, he would have to do not a screen recording. He would have to do it formally. But like we're gonna listen.
Okay.
Go ahead, prototype.
Yeah, I was just I sat in my thoughts for a while and I was like, damn, she really ain't came for me how she could came for me. And I just thought about it. I was like, damn, I did a little bit too much. And I reached out to her. She didn't tell back, but I told her.
What did you tell her?
I forgot the exact words, but I told her like, she really ain't said nothing wrong, and I apologize. But I forgot it was a little bit long, but I forgot the exact words.
Why do you think you said what you said?
Because I felt like I wasn't being heard for what I was trying to say, and I felt like no matter what I said, it was getting misconstrued.
Prototype, is this your community over here? Or is this Melanin's community?
Melanin. Well, both. Well, I wanted to be mine, but it's preferably melanin, I guess.
So, do you understand how it's a problem when you coming over to Melanin's community and feeling upset because you can't say something that she's saying is problematic?
Say that one more time, Terry.
You were saying some problematic shit. That's why she's calling you out. And then you got upset because you couldn't say something that caused harm. She basically was putting a muzzle on you because you needed one.
Yeah, that's why I said I sat in my thoughts and I processed. I was like, damn, she really ain't said as much as she should have said. You know what I'm saying? So I side with it. Like when we be in these conversations, we don't really just hear each other out as much as we need to. You know what I'm saying? But like when stuff like that happen to me, it replays in my mind. I was like, damn, I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
Mia, you want to say something?
Yeah, I think I would have to go back and look at the DM, but it was heavy in misogyny and colorism, and that was how I felt, and I felt
No, it
it was
was.
some. Yeah, no, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I couldn't remember verbatim, Sarah, exactly what he said, but I know that's how it made me feel, regardless of what the words were. And then I thought it was interesting that you sent it to me, a light skinned woman. I thought she was trying to triangulate us. I thought
He
that it was
was.
just what you said, Sarah?
He was.
Yeah. Oh, you ad libbing to add. I'm like,
I'm
wait, Sarah, am I
validating
tripping?
you. I'm
Yeah.
just
I was like,
validating
wait,
you.
but but yeah. So I was highly offended and upset. Um, it was fucked up, prototype. Like, what the fuck was you thinking? Like, it was beyond just us not understanding. Like, you wanted, like, you dug deep down in the pit of your stomach to say what you said, and I felt that through the words. Like, it was violent. It was violent. It was uncalled for. So I don't know what you was thinking, but I've been praying for you.
She hasn't.
You don't think she forgive me?
Um,
Let
I
me
don't know.
explain this real
Hold on.
quick
I
there.
don't know why forgiveness would be your concern right now.
Yeah, and the thing is, when it comes to forgiveness, y'all gotta lose the church version of forgiveness that your grandma told you, because ain't nobody stupid. Forgiveness, I'm sure she let it go. She done moved on with her life, but that forgiveness don't mean that everything is all and well with you. Forgiveness don't mean that I gotta let you in my life. Forgiveness don't mean that I got to entertain or coddle you or accept what you're talking about. Forgiveness could simply be, I'm gonna let it go, but you guilty. You guilty, and this your sentence. So don't be looking for that forgiveness. You might want to work on forgiving yourself and really unpacking why you would say that about another black woman to a black woman on the internet, in the interweb. Like you might want to sit with that for yourself, like forgiving yourself.
Yeah, and I think I honestly think this is the end of this conversation. Maybe see if Melanin want to talk to you or confront you, and if you can stand it. But yeah, uh, thanks for coming up, Prototype. We gonna move on now.
Amen.
What's up, Mel? Hey, Lynn. Hold up, real
Good
quick. Can
afternoon,
y'all
ma'am.
tap? Hold up, pause. Can y'all tap the screen? Um, I bet Monica. Can y'all tap the screen, share the live out, support the people in the not the ops, but y'all know the usual. Support the people on the panel. I got my own live goal, and I'm looking for subscriptions. Support the live, y'all. Go ahead, Mel. You can
Oh,
respond to the
hold on.
prompt. What you
Hold
say?
on before Mel go. I meant to send you that corn, Tara. Don't look at me as the op. I meant to send you that corn.
No, it's cool. We gonna be ops at some point. That's healthy. Go
What's
ahead,
wrong
Mel.
with getting some corn though?
Sorry, no, so don't worry about all that. Go ahead, Mel.
I was wanting to respond to what you were saying earlier and respond to your
First of
prompt.
all, can you tell
And
us if you don't mind, just at first, could you tell us if you agree or disagree with the prompt, and then you can respond.
kind of agree and disagree. And here's why. We don't see it as being stuck in survival mode.
It's
The-
interesting you said.
And
Okay, go ahead.
and this is why I say that. We are raised that way from, you know, at least I can speak for myself. I was taught that like all my life, you know, growing up that you need you need to be protective over those that are not men because there are bad men in the world,
Who told you
and
that?
that's my father until he passed away, and then my mother until I ended up leaving and joining the military.
So do you ever ask women if they even want your protection?
Before, no. Now, yes.
And what do women say when you say ask on that?
The women that's in my life said yes. If they will call on me if they need help, and if they don't call on me, then I know they're fine.
And what does your protection look like?
Depends on the situation. The last situation I was involved in was removing somebody who was committing domestic violence against a friend of mine. Wait a minute, is that TikTok friendly? I don't want to get you in trouble, host. So
No, you
please,
ain't gonna,
if I
I'll just drop you. Don't worry about it. So you do you feel like you've ever been in survival mode?
when I was in combat, yes. Now that I've been back home and I've went through lots and lots of therapy, no.
So what do you know now that you wish you knew then?
What you were hitting on earlier, physical strength and dominance is not necessarily strength. It's actually a form of weakness. Being able to sit with my own thoughts is more of a strength versus the way I was brought up. I wished the younger version of myself viewed women differently than I do now, because when I was younger, I don't know how to phrase it in a TikTok friendly manner, but I was definitely a dog.
Okay, so I want to ask you another question. Um, so we live in an empire. If you know anything about the history of empires, like one of the things, military becomes a big thing, right?
Yes.
Um, how do you think the conditioning of young boys ensures that we have men who will commit to going into the military?
I really don't know how to answer that question, because the mindset that is needed to be able to deal with being in the military for more than 4 years is, it has to be something that's in that person.
Like what? Like what has to be in you?
You have to be willing to give yourself for something greater.
Yeah, okay,
Like,
that's fine. But what do you think you learned or you have in yourself that gives you that ability?
to me, it was an issue of, I didn't want friends of mine to go into combat that have not been prepared for it or trained for it. So I would rather sacrifice myself versus having them go.
So what's different between you and your friends?
Training, mindset,
Okay, I want to focus on the mindset. What's different from your mindset versus your friend's mindset?
dumb and full of myself.
Hmm?
I mean, that's the honest answer. The answer is I was just young and dumb. I mean, I thought I was 10 foot tall.
Your internet going in and out.
Sir, we're a little bored with you. Put the real protector on the phone. Where's your dog?
His connection. We'll come back to you, Mel. Your connection fucked up. What's up, Mel? Your connection back?
Yes, ma'am.
So you saying you was dumb? What made you dumb, sir?
Just, I didn't have any real life experience at
But
that
you
point.
had knowledge though, right? Even if it was stupid knowledge, you still had knowledge. What
I,
made you dumb?
I had book knowledge.
Huh?
I had book knowledge.
You was dumb
I
with
had
book
book
knowledge?
knowledge. I just,
So are you comparing like book knowledge to like instincts or something like that? You being real vague.
I'm comparing book knowledge to actual intelligence. You can learn everything in a book, but if you can't apply it on the streets and in real life, it doesn't matter.
So you was dumb because you had book knowledge. But I'm still curious about what you think was different between you and your friends. Because you said you was dumb, so they was smart, and you feel like only dumb people need to sacrifice themselves?
No, it's like I said, it's just a different mindset. It's one of those things like, I really thought I was 10 foot tall and bulletproof. I thought that my friends that went off to college were doing something different. And I saw that this is what I trained for. So I would
So
rather be the one to
you felt
go.
like you was stronger than your friends.
Physically, yes.
So
Emotionally, no.
yeah, no, I mean, of course you was jealous of them and you made up in your mind, I'm better than them and I'm doing this and they're not capable of doing it. We got that. But at the same time, you put yourself on a pedestal over your friends, not because you wanted to protect them, because you're trying to protect yourself and your own self-esteem. So that's when you mean say dumb. It's like, oh, I didn't have book knowledge. They got book knowledge, right? They get an education. I got fucking street smarts. I got the instincts. I'm out here doing the real work, the real deal. I'm the real deal. That's an insecurity. I got that. But my question is, can you identify what those things are? Besides just saying, yeah, you thought you was tall, but where do you think that idea came from?
Just growing up. I mean, we see it on TV. We hear it from our friends. We hear it from our parent. We hear it from our dads. We hear it from our,
Listen to what I'm
you
saying.
know,
Yeah, listen. Hear what exactly? What were you
that
hearing?
that's the man's job. The man's job is to go and be in danger.
And do you think that makes sense?
Now, no.
So going back to my original question, do you see how in an empire that relies on having a military, why that idea will be pushed out to young boys? So then it becomes part of that identity?
I misheard you earlier, and yes, I understand that. Like, that's why my attitude and my mindset has changed over the years.
Yeah, I mean, your frontal lobe is it developed. You got some experiences, but The thing is, children are vulnerable. So the thing is, all men were young boys at one time. Y'all get indoctrinated just like everybody else. And you're told that you're the superhero, that you're so fucking tough. And you're like, oh, I need to go and do this thing, but that's by design. That wasn't your own individual, unique thoughts. And as special as you thought you was at the time, you wasn't actually special. You had just consumed the propaganda. So my question is, like, do you realize how, like, in a society where we have this strict gender binary, why that image is being pushed out to young boys, and how you were able to fall for it, and even today you see the same thing repeating itself?
I definitely see it, and that's why now I spend my time with young men and trying to teach them to it's okay to be vulnerable. I think that young men need to have that understanding and that education because it's not something that's taught, and it needs to be.
Yeah, and I think that's the interesting thing with what I was saying. Men look at women like we're weaker, but men don't actually know what strength is. Men think putting up a persona of strength is strength, and women know that it's not. So when men come to us and offer us protection, we look at y'all like, what the fuck is you talking about? Because y'all live in a constant state of fear that was implanted in your mind from a very young age. And it's so intertwined with your day-to-day activities. And the thing about survival mode, you don't even know you're in survival mode until you come up out of it. And a lot of y'all are not able to come up out of it. What's up, youngster?
Hey, how you doing? To that last question that you just said, that last
Real
statement you
quick,
just made,
real quick. Do you agree or disagree with the prompt, sir?
um, I kind of agree. In some ways, in a lot of ways, I kind of agree. Um,
What's the apprehension?
I mean, our society has been in stuck in survival mode for centuries now. So,
Does that make it
we
okay?
are. No, I don't think so. I don't think so because we're, in some cases, we're at the mercy of other men. You know, like you said, if they can be impressionable on the young mind, they will do that. Society will do that to the impressionable of the younger mind because they know they're trying to get results
All right,
from them.
before you go into all of that, what was you said the last comment? You had something you wanted to say on?
Oh God, it slipped to me just now. What was your last statement? I'm so sorry.
It's fine. I don't know.
It's okay. But I think you hit home with a valid point on your last statement. If I could initially remember what it was, but I'm not gonna stretch my brain that far today.
No, it's
So,
fine. But I've been hitting home the whole time I've been up here.
hey, I don't doubt that a bit. I've been hearing a lot of what you've been saying initially. So, um, all together, you know, to get people to change their mindset, and I wanted to say that earlier.
Hold on. You
Just
say
because you have
people.
book smarts
Hold
doesn't
up.
mean you're intelligent.
Hold up, real quick. When you say people, what people are you referring to?
I'm talking about in general, just everyday people in America initially, because
I'm asking because
um,
hold on real
go
quick.
ahead,
I'm
go
asking
ahead.
because my background specifically points out men. Are you saying men and women or all people?
Well, okay, I can stay on that reference. I'll say men of America in America aren't as in could be knowledgeable as they could be. Um, a lot of us get our information from fathers, uncles, friends in the street, you know, based on what protection looked like you're saying initially. And then when if the ideology of saying to a young man, "Hey, granddaddy went to Vietnam" or something like that, they look upon that to say, "Okay, am I gonna do that for myself, or am I following tradition?" Because some people do that as tradition. Some people do that in a space of, well, granddaddy did it, I'm gonna go do it because he got the benefits out of it, but don't necessarily know how that may effectively cause you trauma. It may effectively cause you mental damage. Making sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear. Yeah, I get it. That's a problem with men. Y'all don't have your own identities.
No, you
You
don't. I
find you
agree.
find the most what you perceive as the most masculine man, and y'all pretend to be him, which is dangerous. And there's a
Yeah, I
reason
agree.
why y'all so sensitive. The reason why you're so vulnerable is because that's literally a mask. You're not being your
I
true
agree.
authentic. Hold up. You're wearing a mask, so you essentially are not being your true authentic self. And because you're wearing a mask and doing the like uh the crucial stages of development, especially in the
Hmm.
adolescent years,
Hmm.
because you've been trying to pretend to be somebody so much,
Hmm.
you are terrified of somebody seeing the real you because you're afraid of seeing the real you.
Okay, so I would. Okay, and that makes sense in a lot of ways.
No,
I think I
it's
remember
facts.
what the I
Hold up.
I
Just making sure you know. If I said something, it's facts. But go ahead.
well, I mean, are you a therapist or you like a
No,
licensed
no.
psychologist or something?
No, my name is Sarah, and if I said it's facts, but go ahead.
Okay, so that was the last statement that I was going to say to your point, what you said earlier. You just said it again too, just now too. God damn it.
It's fine. You can take some time to get your thoughts together. All right. I'm about to do open panel at
All right.
the last couple people speak. What's up, KGR?
What's up, Tara? I'm so sorry you're having to deal with these men.
No, I'm looking for information today. It's cool. I'm not going to
Okay.
inconvenience myself. You know, if I was inconvenienced, I would drop motherfuckers. I don't let nobody be in my space like that. That's why yesterday I just started dropping motherfuckers because like fuck y'all. But no, I'm trying to get information. That's all. But not just for me, for other people to see it in real time. But yeah, I'm good.
Exactly. Yeah, but as far as your prompt, yeah, I 100% agree. And I would even go further to say that it's not just survival mode. They are literally sociopathic and they're socialized to be sociopathic. So the reason that they're always suspecting harm around the next corner or thinking everyone's out to harm them is because they themselves are projecting that onto others. They want to harm. And they.
Where the hell you at?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm at a hospital in the parking lot about to dip out. But yeah, I think that they're just projecting that onto others and they themselves want to do harm. But they're trying to pretend that they're no, it's this. So I think it's double masking.
Yeah, because it's like when I say like, oh, sir, you in survival mode. It's like okay, but like when you're not used to processing your emotions, you're not processing what that actually means. You're like, okay, all right, survival mode, whatever. Yeah, I'm protecting myself. But it's like, it's a lot of consequences that come with survival mode. And like what you're saying, sociopathy, like you're constantly in a state of fear that any violence is justifiable because like I'm trying to protect myself. Like, yeah. So it's like, don't just hear you're in survival mode. You need to learn what the fuck survival mode does to your mentality. What it does.
Psyche.
Yeah, like it fucks you up royally. And even when you come out of survival mode, you gotta heal from that shit. And women make it so simple. Like, gentlemen, go to therapy. Gentlemen, go talk to your friend, open up. And they're like, no, that's not what a man does. And that's why I was asking the guy, Mel, like, do you know why society tells men that therapy is for bitches and why talking to your friends makes you weak? Because that's done on purpose. And it's like, it's interesting because men like, oh, I'm here for protection. So you're a victim. How the fuck are you gonna protect me? Like, you can't protect me. You are a fucking victim.
And
I am not in a state of fear. I can go and open up. I can expose myself and somebody say, oh, I remember you told me this and this is, but I don't give a fuck. Like, I process it, so it don't matter. But you can't even admit it to yourself. How the fuck is you supposed to protect me? You feral.
But on top of that, think about how like survival mode, like when we deal with like, victims of, certain types of violent crimes, right? Or VCs, right? You have to literally retrain your brain to not automatically respond. Constant trauma, constantly living in survival mode causes serious health issues on top of everything else, as well as like just mental disorders in general. You don't just, oh, well, I'm out of it, so I'm good. Oh. It's like, no, MFer, you're actually far more dangerous now because there's no leash. anymore. And when they're off the leash, that's why they become how they are. Anything that threatens the facade they've put together, they become dangerous to everyone around them, because that facade is what has kept them together as a person. That facade is what has allowed them to navigate society. When the facade is cracked, they lose their shit. That's why you see like family annihilators. Why? Oh crap, my facade as being the good guy is gone. Oh crap, this facade I've built up that has, given me this identity is gone. What do? I have to eliminate everything that is threatening that facade, and I get to pretend to be the good guy still.
Yeah, I agree. Mia, did you want to comment on the topic?
I'm out, Terry.
I can't hear. I'm gonna come back because I'm eating. I'll come back.
Okay. What'd you say, Allie?
I said I'm out. I was gonna ask if I can go after Mia.
Oh, go ahead.
Couple things. I was in and out because I was at the dentist. But number one, I don't think a lot of times men understand true survival mode. It heightens the fight, flight, or freeze responses within us. And while on the outside looking in, it might seem like you're doing what you need to do to take care of yourselves and those around you, it can actually be quite dangerous because the survival mode crosses over like good decision making and your ability to emotionally process things. And that's not always good. So that leads into my second point. I remember my mom told me when my brother and I was really, really small, I would say I probably was a baby and my brother was probably like 2.5 years old. She had ran out of money and she needed to buy diapers and she needed to buy some food. But she didn't have any money. And at that moment, her survival mode had kicked in because she knew that she had 2 kids that she had to take care of, and she didn't have the best support from my father. And so she went inside of a store and she actually stole. Now, she got away with it. Don't get me wrong. We were able to have diapers and she actually got some food for us to eat. She got away with it. But when she told her mom was mortified because she had to remind her, like, while what you did wasn't necessarily wrong because you did what you had to do to take care of your family, you placed yourself in a bigger situation. Like, that could have went 1,000 times differently, and you could have lost the very kids that you were trying to protect. The reason why I'm telling the story is because a lot of times when we're talking about survival mode is in the moment, yes, it seems like a rational decision. It seems like it's something that we're supposed to do. Always be on guard, always, stay 2 steps ahead of the constant threat. But that is not a way to live for the remainder of your life. You are not getting the most out of your life experience, and you place yourself in more danger and more harm because you are not able to decipher what's real, what's in the now, what's in the present moment, because you're so focused on either what happened in your past or what may potentially happen in the future. So I just wanted to shed some light on that.
No, that's a good point because that's what I'm saying about the whole processing and how like men and women are conditioned differently, because it's like for us, it's like you in survival mode, you need to do something. I'm not saying everybody does it, but the general idea is that if you're in survival mode, you need to get the fuck out of survival mode. And it seems like for men, they're in survival mode and they normalize it. Like, oh, I'm in survival mode. This is just how men are. Like, and it's like, you don't even realize you need to do something about it, which is crazy as hell. Because like they just sit in it and then they're like, oh, this is what men do. This is what we are. And I forgot, I don't know if it was TikTok when he first came up here, was talking about like, women come to men for protection. I knew that immediately was a lie because like women are not constantly looking for a man for protection. It's not even what we ask men for. We've been extra for like shit like emotional intelligence and shit like that. And when we say that, like, oh, you just want, like, I remember a man saying, oh, you want a woman. Like, maybe I do. Shit, if you can't do the basic things, like, that's crazy. And it's like, when you are in survival mode, it's hard for you to listen to what a person's even saying because you're constantly in your mind with racing thoughts. And we see it all the time when somebody's like, they're so ready to talk. They're not listening to the conversation. They don't know what the fuck going on because like they got to get their shit off. They got to say this thing because like nothing else matters. You're literally trying to protect yourself. You're no different than an animal in the wild. And it's like, it's interesting when you see people who like literally have experienced trauma and they just like normalize it. But y'all, the panel open.
Yeah, it's a real scary thing to be in, but if that's all you know all your life, you can't help but to see life that way for the remainder of your days. And people start to get real comfortable with that thing, and it's not something that we should normalize. And I think, unfortunately, when it comes to men, they have normalized it. So they'll say things like, it's in our nature. No, baby, it's not. When you were a young boy, you did not have to worry about having pew-pews around the house. You didn't have to worry about, always constantly being on guard. When we were kids, for most of us, I won't say all of us, I might be speaking from a place of privilege, but for the majority of us, we were able to be kids. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and even if we had slim to little responsibility over maybe our siblings or other family members, we were able to enjoy being a child and staying in a child's place, as they would call it. But unfortunately, things turn left when you are placed in a situation where you constantly have to be in that fight, flight, or what's the other one? Freeze type mode. And people
fight, freeze, or fawn.
Yes. And people don't like feeling vulnerable. People don't like feeling exposed and open, more specifically men. And so they will do whatever they need to do to not feel that emotion. And that's why I keep talking about this emotional wheel that y'all need to like familiarize yourself with, so that you can understand how you feel in that very moment. It might not be that you feel vulnerable. You might just feel scared. You might just feel like, disappointed. I don't know. It could be anything. It don't necessarily have to just be vulnerable. But it does take vulnerability to actually open up and admit that.
And I think when you say like the part about like just being a kid or whatever, like I know what it's like to like be a child but not able to be a child. Like I literally grew up in survival mode, and for me to get out of it, it took a lot of fucking work. And the reason why I can say you don't know what it is until you come out of it, because I actually experienced that, and I'm like, what the fuck? It's crazy. And it's like, at the end of the day, I knew it wasn't healthy, and I knew I needed to do something about it. The problem with what a man is in our society is men are actually defined by being in survival mode. So not only are you not strong enough to mentally like reject this persona that's been pushed on you, it's being pushed like, oh, this is healthy. Men are supposed to be like this. You're supposed to you're supposed to go to the gym and work out and be strong. And it's not a health thing for them. It literally is, I can protect myself. And that shit is damaging as hell. Like,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
I know
ask
you
you.
didn't fucking interrupt me.
I'm not trying to
I know the
interrupt
fuck
you.
you're not interrupted. I know
I
the
wasn't
fuck
trying to
not. I know the
interrupt.
fuck. Then mute up.
That's what I was.
Mute the fuck up. The hell? Anyways, I was talking. Like I said, the persona of men like literally is to be in survival mode. The way they describe themselves, the traits they glorify about being a man, literally it is survival mode. And it's like, that's what I was asking the guy earlier. Like, do you not understand how in a society where they need a military, where they need motherfuckers to be used to being in survival mode, why that shit is being pushed on you from a childhood? Like, you're a victim, son. Like, no, I don't want you to protect me. I don't want to live with no motherfucker who constantly watching his back and paranoid as hell and he high regard with me. That shit is unhealthy as hell.
Because how can you honestly feel comfortable in a space like that where you constantly gotta look over your shoulder or peek out the blinds, make sure nobody's following you when you home? I mean, we already gotta do that as women occasionally. and always be on guard. And even that's frustrating. Nobody wants to live like that. That's not the goal in life. I don't understand.
And that's the problem. And they be like, oh, I can protect you. I can. Sir, you sound like you got some shit with you. I don't want to deal with that. Like, your selling point ain't what it is. And these men want like, well, y'all hate men and y'all fucking misanders and all this bullshit. No, you sound like a crazy person. And that shit don't sound, talking about be my peace. Nigga, you not peaceful. You not peaceful. The fuck? How am I gonna have peace around a motherfucker who not peaceful? Go ahead, Bash.
What does society look like without that, though?
All right.
I'm
What I'm
gonna
saying.
just drop
there we
you.
go.
Listen, sir, I don't know who the fuck you are. Like, you can have, I'm like, we can talk, you can shave what you want to say, but y'all need to stop that bullshit. Cause y'all need to do that shit to women. Y'all come on our panels and you feel the audacity and entitlement to be fucking heard. Nigga, fuck you. I said mute up. The fuck? We don't give a shit about your question or what you gotta say. Go ahead, Bash.
Yo, so my problem is that I feel like
Hold on,
everyone.
do you agree or disagree with the prompt, sir?
Oh, I disagree. I disagree.
Okay. Why do you disagree? You muted.
Oh, damn. Oh, damn, my bad. I was saying that I disagree with the prompt because I feel like everyone is in constant survival mode, you know? I feel like everyone has gone through some sort of their own trauma, some sort of some home problems or abuse, whatever it may be, me included, and my wife now has taught me even my own protection. She's taught me how to like grow as my own person, how to how to watch out for things that I couldn't before, and how to spot things that I couldn't see before, even in my own business, and in things like things like, I don't know, like within ourselves, Obviously, she offers me my like some form of protection. I offer her some form of protection, but it's not like toxic, It's not like we're
What type of protection do you offer her?
like we used to go to raves together. This is my first time on like live, so sorry if my voice is a little shaky, but we used to go to raves together, and I used to protect her from guys, like that would come up, and some guy was really like just
Okay.
like blatantly like coming up to her and shit, and
Okay.
that's
How do you
some form
how
of
does she protect
physical.
you?
That's
How does
just like,
how
huh?
does she protect you?
Just like with emotional shit, sometimes I couldn't really like formulate how to like emotionally like say things that I needed to say, and that for me is some form of protection, because she taught me, she taught me how to like.
You think it's possible to come out of survival mode?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of
How do
course.
you come out of, how do you,
I
hold
feel
up,
like
sir.
I came out of survival mode with her, Like
So here's the
she
thing.
really taught me.
Okay, hold
She
up,
really taught me.
sir. You don't need to use that many words. It's fine. Here's the thing, because you said you think everybody's in survival mode. Your wife literally is not in survival mode. You are. So
Why would I
that's
be?
because you worried about, oh, the guy coming up, he could attack you.
No, I'm not.
Hush.
I'm not
Like,
constantly worried.
this is the problem. Y'all don't listen.
Why do you get so aggressive though? Why do you get so aggressive trying to shush me and shit?
Okay. So now
I was
see what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm talking about. And I think that's the thing. Like, insults, like, tear y'all apart. So y'all think when y'all throw insults at women with a condescending tone, that shit means something. But I'm not as fragile as you, sir. I'm not fragile as you. I know you trying to throw that aggressive word at me because you feel small as a man. That's how you overcompensate for yourself. That shit don't hit the way you think it's hitting. It just exposed you as being a bitch. Like, that tells me you afraid of somebody seeing you for the bitch that you are. Because you are a bitch. Your wife not in fucking survival mode. I feel sorry for that woman. She stuck with your dumb ass, trying to coach you to be a fucking adult. That's crazy.
We was yapping in the comments saying that this was just another attempt to brainwash women that they didn't need men. And I was like, give me 3 things women need men for. He was like, procreation, for love, for a partner that helps you grow. I was like, you can get that shit from a puppy. No, everything he described is not man-based. So he's just one of those dudes.
He came up here. I hope y'all. I'm washing my dishes off. He led with, "Oh, everybody's in survival mode," and then went to explain how he's in survival mode and he's like this. And I'm like, everybody's not. And the reason why it's like a mute point because they don't listen. Or like I said, you can't listen. Like, you didn't protect you with some motherfucker try to come and fuck with your wife at one point. All right, okay. But she teach you how to be a fucking full person because she knows something wrong with your dumb ass. And the part that's like irritating is like, she gotta be careful how she said because your ego fragile as fuck. Who the fuck wanna deal with that shit? Like, something that could be said in 5 minutes, I gotta say to you over the course of 5 years because you got a fucking fragile ego.
Yeah, that's just some bitch talk. Like, he sounds stupid as hell. Like, and I mean that with love and disrespect.
Nobody give a fuck about that man.
And can we also, I've been wanting to say this a while, so let me just go ahead and say it. When y'all say that y'all be protecting us from people at the nightclub, what you really mean is you want to protect yourself. Let me explain why. Yes, there are harmful things that go on in nightclubs, but you don't want to be the person held responsible in the event that he comes over and disrespects your partner, your spouse, whomever, that you would have to go up against these people. Because a lot of y'all haven't had a fight, if at all, since maybe like the 2nd or 3rd grade. And y'all don't want to put your actual fist to the test because you know that y'all ain't about it. So that's who y'all really protecting. So again, the fight, flight, fear, and it comes up because you don't want to be placed in that situation. So that's why you tell people, I don't want nobody who go out all the time. I want my wife to be at the house. She don't need to be going out without me. X, Y, and Z, because you don't want to have to be in that predicament. It's really for selfish reasons. It's not really more so to protect them. It's to protect yourself.
You know the scene where in the movie where the guy tried to like attack the girl and then the superhero come in and save her and he beat the bully up and then she saves the day and like we know it ain't about her at all. And that's the weird part because it's like, oh, I could protect you for this or whatever. Nigga, you don't give a fuck about protecting me. You want to fulfill some weird ass fucking fantasy you have in your mind of yourself. You fucking weird.
It's strange to me. It's either y'all want to be the Avengers or you don't. Like, pick a side, honestly. It's getting confusing at this
The thing
point.
is, they want to be the Avenger, but they they don't actually want to be the Avenger, if that makes sense. Like, you want to be that nigga, but you don't want to have to be that nigga. And it's like, you scared, like, that's what I'm saying. They scary as fuck. Any man nobody ever approached me like that. Let me just say that. But if somebody approached me, somehow I can protect you. That's a red flag, man. That's a fucking red flag. What are you talking about? Y'all can't even talk about love and connection and building deep intimacy with somebody because, like, you constantly worry somebody gonna come fuck you up. And where y'all learn that shit? From other men? From other men? Your father didn't want to hug you because that's too soft. I'm not supposed to hug you. What the fuck? Skin to skin contact is essential for human development. My bad, y'all. I'm trying to marinate these ribs. Did you want to say something else, Allie?
Not really. I kind of got out mostly what I said, what I need to say. But again, I just feel like, um, the start to this is learning how to process emotions. But before you can even process emotions, you have to look at what emotions that you actually are feeling in the moment. Um, and a lot of times people have limited vocabulary when it comes to that department. Um, and
What, sad, mad, glad?
yeah, or they're using like therapy words or lexicon to try to describe it, but they don't really know the definition of these terms. So like you get into a conflict with somebody and you are using the word gaslighting, but you don't know what gaslighting means, what it looks like, how to like perceive if somebody's gaslighting you. You just hop on, social media and think that you're learning these new terms and you automatically know what it means. That's not it. That's not it. You can use words like I feel invalidated or devalued, or I'm feeling sad or hurt or frustrated. You can use like just regular schmegular degular words and still be able to get over to the other party what you are feeling, but y'all don't take the time out to do that. And I think that that's an important piece when it comes to starting at least the healing process. You don't want to feel the emotion. I get it. But how is that going to help you? Because 10 years down the road, you still going to have to process it if you choose to do so. So you can either get ahead of the train or get behind it.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. Damn, what the fuck was I about to say? I lost it.
What did I say? I was talking about like the emotions. I was talking about,
At the very end. When is it at the very end?
I said 10 years is going to pass and you still have, if you're still willing to, you're going to need to still process it so you can get like on the front end or you can pay for it on the back end.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. So the problem is too is when you mask and you're performing, the thing is you get used, it's like method acting. You get used to pretending that you're somebody else and you're doing what else somebody else can do. So what happens is they can see somebody else doing something and they're like, oh, that's easy, I can do that. But unless you put something into practice, that doesn't mean you just gonna know how to do it by default. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I do feel like if you like at least start the process of trying to understand that your processing skills and your ability to like practice becomes a lot better. But yeah, I absolutely agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like when the dude like, oh, that I don't know, like I'm not saying nothing that ain't well documented. I ain't saying nothing that like can't be confirmed by doing a little bit of research. And I just think it's, I think, I don't know. I think when it comes to the conversation of protection, like just like we say, like we're evolving. I think like maybe instead of like pushing back on the explanations that they're giving, it clearly does not make sense. And maybe we should also focus on like, well, why do you think like that? Like, so when you say you thinking somebody might come in the house at 2 a.m. and you can protect me at 2 a.m., what are you normally doing? Are you asleep? Are you up playing the video game, like preparing for combat or something? Like, what's going on behind the scenes? Because it's like, I feel like when they start talking about like what's the dude TikToker, like that motherfucker, like he's dead serious. Like he feel like, oh, he does not realize he's like a caged animal and that he is enslaving himself.
Hmm. Absolutely. And I think that a bigger part to that is like the constant state of worry, like the anxiety. I think a lot of men struggle with anxiety and they are not willing to openly admit that. Have you seen Inside Out 2 yet?
No, you say yeah, like I'm about to go watch it, but no.
I know some grown people that watch it, so that's why I was asking.
Snippets of it, because they do SEO at my school, but I never sat down and watched the whole thing.
Okay, well, the second movie it's a movie about emotions, but the second movie dealt with more complicated emotions because Riley, which is the main character of the story, she's going into like her preteen years and she's starting to feel like the variety, like the large range of emotions that most people feel when they start their puberty. But the one that stuck out the most in the movie was anxiety. And when I tell you, like, toward the end of the movie, like, it brought me to tears because I can see.
I don't you no, you ain't have this bullshit. That's a lie.
You said what?
Nope. We got it. Y'all got it.
I'm not spoiling. I'm not spoiling.
No. Not you saying did you see it? And I'm thinking about it now. And then you about to nope, not gonna happen. I got it. And when you know what's gonna happen, I'm gonna go watch it. And I'm like, damn, this must have been with Allie met.
I'm trying to tell you, Sarah.
No, you about to spoil it.
Okay, well, I'll just leave that cliffhanger there.
That's it.
But the reason why,
because y'all be like, I ain't want to spoil it. And you say some shit, and I be like, that's funny. You like, yeah, my bad.
no, I wasn't.
It's over. I don't even know why we still having the conversation.
Okay. Well,
let me change the subject real quick, y'all. I'm cooking. I can't see none of y'all comments, so I'm just letting y'all know. So, anyways, anybody else want to come up here? Because Allie trying to spoil the movie, and like
I was not. I swear.
She's still talking about it. She won't let it go. What happened at the dentist, Allie?
Oh, I was good. I ain't have no cavities. I did sign up to get some Invisalign because I'm starting to have some spacing in my teeth and I don't like it. But my teeth is good. I don't have no pain. They whiten them for me. And my dentist said that I do a very good job of cleaning my teeth. So for the people out there who don't go on a regular basis, go ahead, if you can, through your insurance, go ahead and book your 6-month appointments twice a year. It costs nothing to do that. And you get to be away from work. Yes.
Have you ever what is it called? Baking soda? I don't know if you not to use baking soda, but I just have this habit of brushing my teeth with baking soda every once in a while. I love the way that shit feels.
Yeah, I like the baking soda. The Arm & Hammer baking soda toothpaste is life. I love it. But my adopted mom, she used to tell me to like take a tablespoon of baking soda, just take it to like settle like any gas or just anything in your stomach. And I've been doing that, and it just tastes so good. I think I have pica though.
Yeah, that's crazy. This took a weird turn. I wasn't expecting.
I'm sorry. I just like the way it tastes. I like powdery like type textures. You know what I'm talking about?
Can you let that person up, Allie? I can't. I got all of my hands.
Oh Lord, who is this? Hello.
Hello? Sorry, do you know why I dropped you earlier?
Yeah, I apologize. I didn't mean to come off disrespectful.
Real quick, why did I drop you earlier, sir?
Because I interrupted you.
Okay. Do you know why men keep doing that? You know, like women, we know that men do it, but it's like you men realize they do it. Y'all doing it on purpose. Because, like, it's typical for men to come up on our panels muted, and I'm not the only one who experienced it. And it's also typical for men to talk over us.
Yeah, I understand what you mean by that. A lot of men are narcissists, and they think they can be in control and dominate a conversation all the way through without letting y'all speak because they're thinking that in some way they're giving you reason, and you might already know that information, and he's not letting you finish your opinion initially, and it's like, I'm sorry. No, hell no. Hell no. No.
Hold on, real quick. I asked you, why did you do it? And then you start talking about other men, but the behavior you already did. So that means you're not.
So I'll say this. When I hear somebody pause between
No, I didn't
Uh,
call. I told you to
seeing,
meet up and you didn't. That's now you about to gaslight me. It's fine.
I
That's
don't.
self awareness. It's fine, sir. I already think you're a narc, so ain't no point in like going back and forth.
Okay.
I
I
think it's a
mean,
win. I think it's a win that you got some self awareness there. But go ahead. Did you want
right.
to agree or disagree with the prompt?
No, I'm not. I'm not disagreeing with the problem. The statement that you made earlier too, going back in on it. What do you believe society looks like without that, as far as the not being in survival mode? Because yeah, you're right. Most men are in survival mode. Most men are trying to tell women or tell themselves, "Hey, come over here so I can protect you over here," versus being over there. Like it may look like a control statement, but those men who are in those survival modes have recognized they've been through reality of um, somebody getting shot or some guy grabbing a woman's butt or something like that.
That's what you say on TikTok.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So this was my question. Do you know that humans existed in um egalitarian cultures long before patriarchy came along?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so that's what it would look like. Patriarchy is literally men feeling insecure and trying to get a leg up on women.
So what do you what do you think the issue is? Us initially trying to get back to that? Are we dealing with
Well,
um,
I can tell you
as
one. I can tell you one.
psychopaths?
No, I can tell you one. When I just pointed out to you that like you are an art and good that
Uh-huh.
you recognize it, you rejected it. That's part of the problem. Y'all don't
Okay,
live.
I can
Y'all
I
live.
can admit to that.
Yeah, like that's part of it. Like this is not on women to fix. Women are doing fine. The problem is men. And I'm gonna tell you what the biggest problem is. Y'all learn that so y'all are basically trained to be in survival mode. It's not because anything unique or is in your nature, it's because you live in the West and one thing the West does is they well I'm gonna say let me just say patriarchy. One thing patriarchy does is make sure that men comply with the system. So you gotta have
Hmm.
someone on top of you to make you comply, right? You're afraid of yourself, so you comply, you conform, and you cause havoc because of the underlying issues around it, right? So that's first and foremost. But the second part is like, what are y'all going to do about it? Can y'all recognize it, admit to it, and just be open, be vulnerable? Can you call your friend, tell your friend, you know what? I love you. I care about you. I'm so glad I met you. I'm glad you in my life. Can you actually open up and say that? Hey, you know what? I've been hiding myself. I wish that like I realized that I've been hiding myself, and this is what it did to me. You know what? I don't want to live like this, and I know you're dealing with the same, and it's okay. Are you capable of doing that?
I, I'm not. I can't speak for anybody else. I am, and what I have recognized is the
So
person that I have with. Okay,
okay.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
So tell us, what is it like being a narcissist?
Um, in some cases, you align you kind of align to your own thoughts by watching what is going on in society. You're looking at the good with the bad and trying to weigh out where you stand within that society without getting a third person or a fourth person to give you understanding initially. You just weighing in on your own thoughts.
Now, here's the other part. What's your biggest fear? Because you're doing that for a reason.
Biggest fear. Abandonment. I can be honest about that. I don't have a problem expressing myself. So
How many men do you think fear abandonment?
most.
Yeah, so have you ever been able to say that? Because y'all can come to us and talk to us. Are you able to say that amongst a group of men?
I would love to be able to do that with a woman without her
No.
weaponizing it.
Pause. You not listen to me.
Okay.
No, sir. Are you able to do that with other men? Are
Yes.
you able to go to another man and say, I fear that you will abandon me, that you don't want to be my friend, that you'll leave me, that I will be
Good
rejected.
point.
Men
Good
won't
point. Good
allow
point.
me to be part of the group. And because of that, I've been performing. Can you do that? Not talk to women. Ellie, I'm sorry, y'all. I can't, I got meat all over my hands. Can somebody let whoever that is out?
Um, with other men initially, I think that's initially how we pick our friends. In some cases, you know, you're not gonna be open and vulnerable with any and every man. You're gonna do that with like grandparents, fathers, cousins, people who are most close to you. But to do that to like random individuals on the street, like
I said,
you
look,
don't do that.
Can I say
no,
something,
nobody,
Tara?
huh?
I wanted to say something to him about the abandonment thing. Even when it pertains to women, I had something to say.
All right, let him finish his thought and then you can ask him. Go ahead, finish that what you were saying.
yeah, just okay. So that came in and kind of switched the whole. Where were we at? Like initially, so
You wasn't talking
you
about
asked me a question. You asked me a question.
even though I didn't ask you about a random man on the street, you talking about random men on the street.
Yeah, you were saying like, can I do that with other men? Yes,
No,
initially we can.
what community of men, sir, not random men on the street, sir.
Yeah, community of men, of course. Like those individuals who you may go to church with, those individuals you may be in a brotherhood with. You do that with those individuals. Yeah,
All right, go
we
ahead,
have
Lee.
we have we have systems
Okay.
like that. My bad.
So I want to say this because you said, and I often hear men say that a woman will weaponize your feelings against you, and that's just not something that I understand. I guess as a woman, I've become more emotionally. I have more emotional fortitude. I would say that, like as a woman, I guess I'm stronger in that way. So I don't understand why men would think that they have emotional intelligence because oftentimes they do say we are the more emotional intelligent, right? But to me, being emotionally intelligent doesn't look like allowing someone to weaponize your truth against you. Because if I am triggered in this conversation, let's say, for example, I get triggered and I admit to y'all that I'm triggered, I'm already free. I've already admitted that. I've come to terms with being triggered. That I put it out there. You can't spray me with my own tea. So then if you go back and you're like, oh well, you're triggered. I'm already hold on. Okay, my bad. Okay, my bad. I don't know if y'all can hear my GPS. But I'm already free of that. I put it out there so I'm free. Therefore, if you come back and be like, Lynn, you triggered. Okay, and I already said I'm triggered. I've already admitted that I'm triggered. There's no way. Uh-uh.
Hey, Lay, can I ask you a question?
Yeah. Therefore, you cannot weaponize my emotions against me because I'm already free from them by admitting the truth and understanding the truth within me.
Lay, I think I think you heard me in reverse. I said women take men's truth that they might have told to the woman, and like you said, if you're triggered, you use what he has told you and weaponizing it in a way that
No,
says,
I heard you
well,
perfect. I heard you
okay,
perfectly,
but
sweetheart. I don't think you
hold on.
understood me. I think that there's a lack of understanding between us.
But you're saying that like because you are in you're free of your emotions that you aren't necessarily
So
triggering his unknowingly.
imagine, no. Imagine that I am the man in question, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
All right, GPS. Can y'all hear my GPS or no?
Lynn, it's
You
a
got
hot
Google?
mess, Lynn. Lynn, it's a hot mess.
Y'all can hear
Lynn,
my GPS?
no, but you in a hot mess right now. What the hell?
Okay, hold on. Let me.
Lynn, you can mute up for a second, Lynn. Get yourself together. That's
Hold
no.
on. I turned off my GPS. Let me say this. If I am the man in question and the emotion in question is I'm fearful, I'm afraid of abandonment. If I express that emotion to the woman that I'm with, I'm free of that emotion. Therefore, she cannot weaponize the emotion against me because I'm standing in my truth. So if a woman would try to come and attack me and say, look at you, you afraid of abandonment. So I already admitted that. That's my truth.
You can't weaponize my truth against me. It's when you're
Uh,
hiding and you're not honest with yourself that someone can weaponize it against you. When you are not comfortable with your own truth, that's when somebody can weaponize it against you. If I'm comfortable with my own truth and I'm working on my abandonment issues and I'm like, I can't, then nobody can weaponize that against me. I've already pulled my own strings. So how you gonna pull my strings? You don't get
but
that? You don't get what I'm
you
saying?
yeah, but you're giving up. You're changing the statement initially. You kind of are. I hear what you're saying, right?
How
I
is she
understand what
changing
you. I understand. I understand abandonment.
How is she
how is
changing
she
Go
it?
ahead.
changing the statement? You can't see, that's the thing. Y'all got to be more detailed when y'all get responsive. How is she changing the statement?
Because she's reflecting from a space of knowing how she feel. She's not taking in consideration how he may feel.
No, I don't think that's it.
That's not it.
No,
Sir,
That's
that's
not
I'm
it.
him.
So
You're not
hold on.
understanding. In this example, I am him. I am the man. You're not hearing my example clearly. I am the man. If a man, let's put it like this: if a man is expressing his emotions to me and he is standing in his truth, and his truth is he has a fear that I'm going to leave him, and he tells me, I am afraid that you are going to leave me. That's him standing in his truth. He knows
Right.
that about himself. He understands that about himself. He's
Uh
working
huh.
on that. That's
Mhm. Mhm.
his truth. There's
Okay.
no possible way I can come in as his woman and weaponize that truth against him. Because one, he's working on it, and two, he's standing in his truth. Nobody can weaponize your truth against you. The only
Okay.
way people hold on, the only way people can weaponize anything against you is when you are not being honest with yourself and you have not accepted your situation wholeheartedly. When you're hiding, when you're lying, when you're masking. That's why a lot of people have a problem with me, because nobody can spray me with my own tea, because I stand in my truth wholeheartedly. A man can't come to me and be like, oh, that's why when you was with your ex, you was insecure because you was a little bit bigger. And I already recognized that. Not only did I recognize it, I worked on that. Not only did I work on it, I doubled down on it by getting in the shape that I was comfortable with, so no man could ever do that to me again. Nobody could ever do that to me, because that's my truth. You can't spray me with my own tea. I'm already solidified in my truth. So a lot of times people get angry with me because they can't pull my strings, because I've already cut them motherfuckers.
Right.
So when oh,
Hold
I'm
on, hold
sorry.
on.
I'm
And one
sorry. I'm
more.
sorry.
And I think the bigger picture of it, because there's duality, you can
Okay.
absolutely,
Sir, listen. The
Oh,
fuck?
I'm sorry. I'm in the ad lib. My bad.
No, don't do that. Mute up. What?
you can absolutely big yourself up and give yourself the confidence while still recognizing there are areas of improvement, right? I think the problem is a lot of times men specifically are so fearful of um, being embarrassed or having embarrassment or feeling embarrassed that they will overinflate their ego, i.e., get stuck in this like survival mode and tell people it's in our nature to be protective because they don't want to be embarrassed. It's that difficult for them. But leading back into Lynn's point is you can never make anyone feel embarrassed when they already know the truth within themselves. If you tell me that I got a booger in my nose and I know that I'm overcoming a cold, you can't embarrass me, baby. Oh, thank you for that. Thank you for letting me know that I have a flaw. Let me go and, make the necessary adjustments. But y'all are walking around acting as if anybody calls anything out, that means that you are trying to throw it back in your face. And that's not what it is. You don't grow like that. You don't grow like that at all. If you're walking around musty and you're afraid of people telling you that you're musty, you're going to forever walk around stank Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna grow. So you have to allow for people to tell you where you stink at. And sit in it, be uncomfortable in it, and be able to come to terms with it, so that when the next person comes around and say, I think something's funky over here, you're not quick to like mission abort. You can say, it may not be me, it may be me. I know where I am and I know where I want to be, but can't nobody tell me, about my own issues, because I've already like gotten acquainted with them. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
I think another part of it is, and I can empathize this for myself. It's like sometimes you've been in that mindset for so long, you don't even realize it's something you need to admit to yourself. Like, I love feedback for that reason, because like you get a response from someone or something you can't see. But what happens is we get this tendency of like, once that happens, we feel like we got to defend it. Like, no, lie, whatever. But when somebody clock your tea, they clock your tea. There's no saving face from that. And that's another problem with masking for so long. You think because you've been spending all this time, like, if I say this right, they won't think this, they won't think that. You think, you can undo what's already being done. And with a lot of these men are not realizing that we already clock your tea. We already see it. It's not a secret. You just can't admit it.
And I see, sir, that you were talking about in the comments about the law of attraction. Y'all really gotta like stop like dipping your toe in like theories and like the therapy portion if you're not openly ready and willing to admit that there is an actual issue. Like, you already on page or chapter 4 when you should be at chapter 1. And that's identifying that there is an actual issue and that you stink in an area. Don't get too far ahead in the book.
Yeah,
don't talk to me about law of attraction if you haven't read Ask It and It's Given. Don't talk to me about the law of attraction if you haven't read Michael Singer's book. Don't talk to me about law of attraction if you don't know who Napoleon Hill is, if you don't know who Eckhart Tolle is, if you don't know who Deepak Chopra is. Don't talk to me about law of attraction if you don't know who Abraham Hicks is, if you haven't read multiple of their books, if you haven't read Don Miguel Ruiz. Don't talk to me about law of attraction, because baby, I can eat bound when it comes to law of attraction. And when I tell y'all barely scratch the surface of law of attraction and y'all don't even understand what it really fucking means. Y'all don't understand what it really fucking means, because that is what begun my healing journey, and that is what I got down with. So when I tell you I am spiritually grounded, spiritually connected, you cannot tell me shit about the law of attraction, because most of y'all don't live it. Y'all don't live it, because if y'all did live it, y'all wouldn't be trying to humble women and neg women, because you will understand that it is a way of being. It's not just like, I'm gonna think positive and I'm gonna get positive. That ain't it, baby. That ain't it. You gotta.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
6
I
years
agree.
to master.
real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that. Like, men need to stop. Y'all, here's the fucking problem. Society teaches y'all to be fragile human beings, and at the same time think y'all the fucking leaders. Y'all, how the fuck you gonna lead somebody? Like, you can't lead your fucking self. And that's the annoying shit, because like, men always think they putting women on game with some shit we already fucking know. Like, we already know. We've been trying to teach you and baby fucking spoon feeding that shit to you for the longest time, because you can't deal with the fucking truth. Like, y'all need to humble your fucking self. That's what really needs to happen. Y'all niggas need to humble yourselves. Like, real bad. You're not a fucking leader. You're not a fucking leader. You're not the superhero from the Marvel movie. You've been lied to. You're a victim. You've been used. And now you're living in survival mode because you're scary as fuck. And we already know. So stop thinking y'all schooling women. Y'all ain't got shit we need to know, but more about how y'all fucked up and how y'all act. Y'all ain't teaching us shit. And it's like, y'all, I'm the leader. Oh, this is what shut the fuck up, nigga. You just trying to be something you think you are. You not that nigga. Damn.
Definitely not
I
Timothy.
don't agree. I don't necessarily disagree with what you're saying because it's on both feet. What you're saying is the superhero
See, that's
aspect
what I'm talking.
and
Hold
the
up. That's what
Disney
I'm talking
aspect.
about right there. Hold up. The I don't necessarily disagree bullshit, sir. I told you if I said it, it's fucking facts. Okay.
Okay, I'm
Hold
not
up,
disagreeing.
pause. Shut
I'm not.
up. You're not fucking listening. If I said it, it's facts. So if you can't be
Oh,
like
okay.
facts or true, shut up. That's why I dropped you earlier. Sir, you not nobody up here learning shit from you. We're not learning a goddamn damn thing from you, sir. We just studying your behavior. That's why you're here. You're not schooling us. We trying to tell your dumb ass. So don't come at me like I kinda, nigga, the fuck?
Yeah, when it comes to enlightenment, y'all don't understand that y'all are on our journey of enlightenment. So this is the step of enlightenment where I begin to understand other social creatures in my area, and I learn their behaviors, and I internalize it so that I won't let them trigger me. So definitely y'all case studies, like namaste, nigga.
Is it okay to speak now?
No, because you being condescending. Because y'all think because y'all just
It
come
really
on.
wasn't.
No, you asked a question. I said no. That was the answer. The thing is, y'all just be saying shit. Y'all think some shit like, yeah, that's fucking deep. It don't even be original thought. It be some shit you heard another motherfucker say, and you just want to repeat it. Like I'm sitting. No, you listen. Did you not just hear all the books Lynn just listed off? Like, it's not a.
Listen,
Shut the fuck
I've read a lot of
up.
those.
I'm gonna just drop you again.
What
You can come back.
what book? Hold on.
Hold on,
What
no,
book
he'll
you
come
read?
back. He'll
What book
come
you
back when he
read?
hold up. He can come back when he know how to behave because he about to fucking lie. But this is what I'm talking about. It's nobody up here saying no shit. They just guessing. Like this is not just we just maybe it's this or whatever. Like we actually studying the shit. We learning about it. We processing it. We trying to like put the pieces together. And they'll be like, well, I know this one thing. No, the fuck you don't. And that should be hella annoying. It's like, bitch, you not on my fucking level. And here you come thinking, I kind of understand. I mean, I kind of agree. Because you fucking stupid. That's why you don't fully agree. Because you fucking stupid.
Yeah, I want to know what book he read because I ain't even list books. I listed a bunch of authors.
You can let him
So
back up.
what the fuck book
Let
you
him back.
read?
Let him back up. He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what book you read because I listed a bunch of authors. So what book did you read?
Now you about to look the shit up. Man, I'm gonna go on mute real quick.
Hello?
You don't see the teacup? He about to look, he looking the shit up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because when I tell you, honey, when I tell you that I've studied, I can get a PhD in spirituality if I really wanted to. In spiritual psychology, I've been there. I've done that. I've read all the books. I got the bumper sticker. I know what I'm talking about. Can't nobody tell me shit about manifestation, law of attraction, any of that. Cause we go way back. So what books did you read, sir? Go ahead. You can say something young. What books did you read?
This is what I'm saying. When you start lying and stuff, you push yourself further and further away from your focus point, your goal. Because you cannot openly admit you're afraid of embarrassment. I was just literally talking about this. And you have to protect your ego. So you could have just sat there and ate your food and just listened. Are you back, Young?
What are you gonna tell us, young? What
Yeah,
books did you
I mean,
read?
giving an example would be what the host just did initially. We could start there by you wanting me to give you respect and muting
No.
myself.
You have
I'm
to
gonna give you
answer
the
the
books.
question.
I'm gonna give you the books. I'm definitely
No,
gonna give you the
give
books.
us the books answer the
I'm
question, or are
going.
we moving on to the
See,
other
this is
young
what I'm
on top
talking
of me?
about, right?
That's the
This is
requirement.
an example I'm giving.
But you on
Just
our
oh,
panel. You on our
right.
panel. Sir,
I'm
you
not
are
trying to
on our
disrespect nobody
panel.
here. Just Listen by
Okay,
Dr.
so read
Mark
the
Goldstein.
list the book.
That's one of them. Talking to Crazy by Dr. Mark Goldstein.
KGR, stop muting people.
Do he know he on mute? I hope he ain't over there.
No.
Hello, how many books did y'all hear from me just now? I said a couple of them. I'm sorry.
We didn't hear any. Try it. Start over.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Let me go back then. Let me go back. I said The Art of Letting Go by Ramani Nami. I read The 48 Laws of Power
Oh
by
Lord.
Robert Greene. Art of Seduction by Robert Greene. Um,
Say the Art of War, guys. Damn.
the Kabbalion. How many of y'all have read The Kabbalion?
What them books about?
The Relationship Dismount by Zoe Williams.
What?
Like
Summarize the book. Summarize it. What's it about?
the way of the Superior Man by
What,
David Deida.
what was your
Like
key takeaways from the book, sir?
the 48 Laws of Power.
Yeah,
Manipulation,
that one. That
manipulation,
one.
manipulation. How to manipulate somebody, which you have
Interesting.
gone through very well, and I've noticed very well that you have gone through the book initially. So I pride you
Who are
on
you
what you have
talking
done.
to?
I'm talking to the host.
Not you
I
doing
pride.
both of them.
No, I'm just saying. I pride her on being more intelligent than she recognized her counterpart to be. So when she sees somebody coming at her with game, guess what? You can't run that over here.
What the fuck is you talking about, sir? Summarize the book you read.
I
Tell us what
just
the
gave
key
you
takeaway.
the,
No. You gave. Tell us the key takeaway. What
the
did
key
you learn
takeaway
from it?
is manipulation, knowing
Okay, tell
knowing
us.
it when
Be
you
a little
see it.
more detail. Okay, I can get that from synopsis
Hold
of
on,
the
hold
book.
on.
Oh, come
Hold
on.
on,
We'd be
hold
here
on.
all day if that
Hold
be the
on,
case.
hold on. I got a question. Hold
Talk to
on,
me.
I got a question, sir.
Okay.
I got a question. You've read The Art of Seduction, as have I. I've actually read that book 5 times. I've listened to the summary 10 times. I've watched the clip notes about another 3 times. I am at one with Robert Greene. I've read all of his books. I actually know one of his close friends, and like, that's one of my favorite authors. So tell me, sir, my good sir, did you understand The Art of Seduction?
The art of seduction is based on
No, 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 no.
characteristics.
Hold on, hold on.
Hold on. Am I not?
Hold
No.
up,
Wait,
y'all.
wait.
Hold
Am I not
up.
able to get my
No,
response?
I
Len,
answered a
hold
This is
up.
simple.
Hold
where
up, real quick,
Just Listen
Wait,
Len.
comes in example.
Len,
Everything
wait.
mute
she
real
just
quick.
No,
Hold
she just
up,
made up
Len.
because
as
you're
well.
not answering a simple question. I
Len,
said, did you
Len. Can you
understand
hear
The
me,
Art of
Len?
Seduction?
Len, can you hear me? Can
Go
y'all
ahead.
hear me? I got stuff away for
Yeah,
like 10 minutes. Y'all got it?
yeah, I got it. We got it.
All right.
Okay, sir. Simple question, yes or no? Did you understand The Art of Seduction? Oh, he left. He couldn't answer simple questions. I was gonna ask him a question.
He was scared.
No, it's because he can't follow instructions. That's why they do so bad in school, because they can't follow simple instructions. They want to go off
Talk to the
into some
host. The
other
host left.
tangent instead of getting the host not here. I'm running the ship. What's up, young?
I mean, I don't know what y'all was really talking about. I was just trying to go over the topic for real.
All right, go ahead. Answer the topic. What do you think about it? You agree or disagree?
I agree. I think that men offer protection because men are dangerous. Um, you see that in the United States, they say that less than 10% of all the serial killers are women. And I just, did that up .edu. I forgot the site. I don't want to go off of the live, but yeah, men are dangerous, and we don't just see that with humans. You see this with all animals. Lions, male lions will come into a pride, and if the other male can't defend his family, he'll kill that male and then kill the kids and then take over the wife. It's kind of, I don't want to mean to compare it to animals, but it's in the nature of men to be more physically capable of taking over. That's why it's hard for women to find leadership, because it's kind of forced that men are leaders because what can you do if you try to be a leader and someone can physically beat you up or physically can, and that's even with men. Like if I'm a man and I'm in a crew and I'm like, I'm going to be the leader of this crew, but I'm not the strongest man, I'm not the most physically gifted man. The man who's most physically gifted can just take over and
Your service got bad toward the end. I just wanted to know, what did that have to do with survival mode? Like, bring it home for us.
okay, stuck in survival mode. When I hear survival mode, let's say that there's a threat and you have a home, you bought your home, you have a family, and there's a threat coming. Now, the smart decision would obviously be for the man, the one who's more physically capable of defending, to go and take care of the situation, the perimeter. Why would you
Why is
send
that?
your
Wait, slow down. Why is that?
because the man is more physically gifted.
Well,
That's literally it.
all of
That's
y'all are
literally it.
more physically capable, and yet we still have violence that surrounds us. So I don't know what that has to do with anything, but go off.
Because men are dangerous. That's the whole thing. Men are protecting us from protecting women from other men. Because what can you do in that situation of terror when there's another man that comes into your house and tries to physically dominate you? There's really nothing you can. There's really nothing you can do.
Okay, I don't. Maybe it's me, y'all. I'm gonna run a poll real quick. But does anybody else? Is anybody else lost in how that
Well, because I'm
correlates to
just going
like
off of the
they?
topic.
I'm asking you, sir. You saying that men have y'all are like naturally selected, I'm assuming, to be the more capable person of defending either your family or yourself when danger presents itself. And that is what puts you in survival mode. Is that what you're saying? But do you see like the harm in that? Because you just said that y'all are more physically capable.
Right.
Do you see the harm in living that way and thinking that way in survival mode for the rest of your life?
No, I don't see the harm because I think it's important
Mhm.
to have safety involved in life, and without certain men being protectors, there will be no there will be no I don't know, like even war, for example. I mean, let's say America decided to soften men, and men were gonna not be as protective. When other countries come at us, what are we gonna do in those situations? Because
You are aware.
other countries aren't gonna take the same mindset as us. Other countries aren't gonna take the same concept as America because they're their own country. They have their own democracy. They have their own whatever they got going on. So if America does decide, you know what, our men are gonna take less protective roles and we're gonna all be the same, then where is our protection?
Okay, a couple things. Number one, you are aware that there are women in the military services. Is that correct?
I 100% agree with you, but I also agree
It was just a
with
yes or no. You don't have to elaborate because I already know what type of time you on by
you like
saying.
statistics and probability. But go ahead.
But I'm asking yes or no. You are aware that women do serve in our armed forces in
Yes,
America.
yes,
Okay, so let's not try to like act like we don't have women who are also leading the way when it comes to going into that type of career. Number two, you are also aware that it is mostly men who is starting up a lot of these wars, whether it's within our country from the past or overseas. Correct or incorrect?
correct.
Okay. But you just said before we even got on this topic that men are physically capable and y'all are supposed to protect. So how can you be the villain and the victim all at once? And also, as you're pondering that question, let me ask you this. Do you think that if collectively the entire world, we all decided that we didn't want to do like wars or anything like that anymore, that there would even be a need for armed forces?
Obviously, but this is very unrealistic. This is very. I don't know why we're doing hypotheticals that are never going to happen.
I'm asking you thought-provoking questions.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can't disagree with anything you said.
Okay, so here's my thing.
That one.
Because the threat of violence will always be there because men stay in survival mode the way that you all do when it comes to wars, when it comes to like just the day-to-day crimes that we have to face individually or from a family to family type basis. We are in a constant state of always seeking or needing to protect ourselves. Do you think that that's a healthy way to live?
No, it's not.
Okay, so that's the point of the prompt. It's
Okay,
not safe.
we're
It's not safe. It's not healthy for a person to be here for, it's not guaranteed, but we just don't use it for these purposes to say 65, 70 years. It is not healthy for a person to be on this earth for at least 50 of their 65 to 70 years in a constant state of survival mode because they have fear that the threat of violence might touch them. More specifically, men. Do you understand that?
yes.
Now, can you expound on that point? I'm going to mute up and I'm going to let you expound on that. It's not necessarily why we need y'all to be protectors and providers or anything. I want you to try to expound on why you all think it's okay in your mind, mentally and emotionally, why you feel like you have to constantly be in this state of survival mode to feel safe and secure.
Okay. To expand on your point, I just think that we're dealing with the realism of the situation that we are in. I think it'll be amazing if we can all think with the mentality of we're not in survival mode. We don't have to be in survival mode. I think every man would love that. I think I would love that if I was on a beautiful island. I didn't have to worry about any threats. I think that would be amazing, and that would be a life that everybody wants to live. But this is not the life that we're living. We are we have to look at the situation that we have been put in. The things that happened in the 1600s, the 1700s, all that stuff. It matters today. There was wars back then that we're not able to. We can't just sign a peace treaty and be cool. You know, this is how we've got here. People had to fight for land. People had to fight for territory. People had to fight for their families. People had to fight for things
But
like the
why are
things.
they doing that? Why are people fighting over land when there's enough for everybody? There's
Well,
a
because
specific
people want
answer I'm
people
looking for.
say
It's
say
one
that it's
word.
say, excuse me, let me talk please. Say that this land has more sunlight than this other land here, or this land here has more gold, more oil, more this than this land here. There's going to be a group of people that says, I
It's
want this
called
oil and I'm not
greed.
going to let you have it. It's called greed. It's called greed. And greed that's how that's how we're all here. People are fighting for
No,
land.
that's
People are
not
fighting
how
for
we are
territory.
here. Let me talk real quick. So the other man brought up the law of attraction. Do you believe that? Do you believe in the law of attraction?
I wasn't speaking on that topic. I haven't read the
I
book. I
know
don't
you
even want to
weren't.
get into
I'm
that.
not saying that. I didn't say that. I'm asking you, do you believe in it? I'm asking you a question. You believe
I
in
don't
it?
want to speak on something I haven't read.
So you don't believe in it. You don't believe that whatever you
I'm
focus
not sure.
on, it's gonna come into fruition.
I'm not informed on the law of attraction, so I'm not able to
Okay.
answer.
Well, let me. Do you read
Yes, I
at
do.
all? Okay. I suggest you read a book. It's called The Seat of the Soul. It's by this man named Gary Zukav. Um, throughout throughout humanity, we've gone through several points of evolution. Currently, at this current time, human beings are at a point of evolution where we are turning into six sensory humans, meaning right now we have five senses: touch, taste, smell, sight, and hearing. But there's a sixth sense, and that's what you can feel in your intuition. We are turning into six sensory beings. The problem is you are going to be stuck at the crux of evolution if you don't realize that we are evolving as a species. You are going to be stuck in archaic mindsets of we have to fight, we have to physically be at war with each other, when enlightenment comes with knowing that we don't have to do that. And also, we no longer need each other physically in that way. If you don't let go of the past way of thinking, you are going to be stuck. You're not going to evolve into a human being of the future. Now, you can be a forward thinking human, and that's how you gain the enlightenment and the security and the fortification that you need, or you can stay in the past. The thing about the men is that they're hell bent on staying in the past because they think that we still need each other for basic survival. We have homes now. We have pew pews now. We don't need you to build a mud fort tent. We don't need a protection against the bear. We don't need protection against a lion.
Yeah, I think I hear where you're going with this, because I agree that the economy we live in today, it allows everyone to be less instinctive. Like you said, we don't have to fight no bears, no lions, no nothing. We live in America, and for the most part, the police are here to protect and serve. For the most part, and we're just we go, we work, we do our jobs, 9 to 5, we come home, but but if just if I don't think anyone could just live a perfect, beautiful, 100% life. I think because it's never happened to me, but I know people who have gotten robbed before, strong arm robbed before. I know people who have gotten their house burglarized before, and
Wait,
yes, it
young,
came.
young, hold on. I don't mean to interrupt you, but you're gonna have to use TikTok friendly language to
I'm sorry.
protect your life, okay? So if you're
Okay.
gonna say the D word, say unalive, okay?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. But yeah, like I said, I know people that have been in these bad situations to where safety is something that you need, and I just don't understand how we just can't understand that in certain scenarios, men have I think women and men both have things that that's why we need each other, in my
So let me
opinion.
ask you
Women
a
have things that
question.
men don't have,
If
and
you
men
and
have
I
things women don't have.
Let me ask you a question. If you and I are in a relationship and somebody is robbing our house and I'm skilled in pew pew and I got a perfect shot, a
Wait, but
perfect aim.
let's say there's
Hold
no gun
on,
involved.
hold
Let's
on.
use
No,
our
no, no, no,
natural
no,
our
no, no,
natural
no, no, no.
capabilities.
But we have guns. We have pew pews. So we not gonna do that.
Not everyone has a pew pew.
No, I'm giving you the situation. You answer the question
Okay,
based
all
on the
right.
situation. Don't change the situation. It's my situation. And I have a better aim than you, and we only got one shot. Who gonna take the chance? Are we gonna take it on you, and I'm gonna give it to you because you're the man, or you gonna let me take it?
Obviously, in the perfect scenario that you just created, where you're the
That's
better
not
shooter
the
than I
perfect
am,
scenario. That's a
you
real
you
life
did you just
scenario.
said if I'm a better shooter than you and we have one shot, of course I'm gonna give you the gun. Anyone who if someone's trained in shooting and we're in this situation, they're gonna get the gun. But I'm just
Say
talking
pew
about using
pew. Don't
using
say don't
use.
say
I'm sorry, pew
GUN.
pew. I'm sorry, pew pew. But using our natural capabilities, there's no gun
But I
involved. I
don't know
went to
people who
the
don't
same scenario.
who rob houses without GUNs. It don't happen. And
I'm
all
not
of
talking
us
about the
women
rob. I'm
on
not
this,
talking about the
all of the
robbers.
women on, but all of the women on this panel, we carry. So that is our situation. We
Well,
GUN
well, well,
carrying members of society.
Well, yeah, that's good for you guys, but
Yeah,
some
we all
people
got that
don't
thing
carry
on us.
weapons. Okay,
I
so
feel
can
bad
I
for
create a
them.
scenario too? Can I create a scenario too? If we're creating a scenario,
Go
am I
ahead.
allowed to make one? All right. Say I like a similar situation as you. Let's say it's not a house. Let's say we're in our car and there's no gun involved. A man comes up and he tries to rip us out the door. He's trying to take our stuff. None of us have a gun. We're caught by surprise. Who do you want to take? Who do you want to take initiative in that situation and defend the family?
If we in a car and he trying to rip us out of the car, obviously drive the fuck off, whoever driving.
All right, cool. You're stuck parallel parked. Let's say you're stuck parallel parked. You can't move, and there's still a car in front of you, a car behind you.
I always
Okay.
She got a call, but
Um,
Could I give my 2 cents on this?
go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to shake the table up a little bit and view this prompt from a different perspective because I actually do disagree with the prompt. The reason as to why I disagree, before everybody in the comments, I know how y'all like to tussle. Hear me out. Walk with me. Walk with me. Do I believe that men are in a constant state of survival mode? Yeah, you can pour over statistical data, make societal observations, look at historical context, and the answers for that will be very apparent as to why they're in survival mode. However, when it comes to protection, I would push the envelope even further and state that men don't offer protection at the fuck all to anybody. To anybody. If we go based off statistical data, right? Loudmouth was pointing out, men are the perpetrators of a majority of crimes, not just here in America, but globally. Men are the ones who men are the ones who instigate and start wars. Men are the ones that create male-led governments and then plunge the nations of use the government of those specific nations and plunge them into economic strife and then blame everybody else for their decisions, right? When it comes to actual protection, I would go as far as to say that men offer an idea of
Hold on,
protection
real quick.
instead of actual
Ray. Hey, I'm back, y'all. Ray,
protection.
you say you disagree with the prompt?
Yeah, I would say I disagree with the prompt. Not that they're stuck in
What
survival
part?
mode,
Hold up. What part are you disagreeing with?
the protection part. Because I was saying that I would push the envelope as far as to say,
Hold up. I'm trying to ask you a question. What do you think I'm saying about protection?
based on the prompt, it's saying that the reason as to why men offer protection is because they're stuck in survival mode, which means they think that they have to offer that protection in order to keep themselves safe and others around them safe.
What do you I'm sorry, I'm confused about what part you disagree with.
I'm saying I disagree with the offering of protection part, not the fact that they're stuck in survival mode. Because I was saying
You don't think men verbally communicate that they want to offer women protection?
no, I think that they verbally communicate they want to offer protection. It's the fact that their idea of protection isn't actually
Yeah,
protection.
but here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. It's like sometimes I don't understand why you saying you disagree is literally a short prompt, synopsis. The context that you giving it is not even there. It's like you have a perception of what the prompt is, and then you're disagreeing with us based on the perception you have of the prompt. Like I'm saying that men literally approach women and say, I'm gonna offer you protection because they're in survival mode, but you're not actually disagreeing with me.
Oh, okay. I thought it was we were on
So
a
when you
different
came, hold up
topic.
real quick. So when you came up here and like y'all like to tussle and all that, that was giving hella passive aggressive. And I'm like, I don't know what type of time you on today. But like you didn't even say anything, you didn't say anything remotely in depth that negates anything in the prompt.
No, I wasn't trying to. I was making.
Can you just acknowledge that part?
Yeah, I said that.
I just wanted you to acknowledge that because it was kind of weird. You like the way you said it, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, I was stuck on the protection part, saying like
You gotta read the full. you got to read the full thing. You understand? There's not going to be a dissertation on the screen. It's a
Yeah,
prompt.
that was my bad. That's what I was trying to say. It was that was my bad that I perceived it in a different way. But for the passive aggressive thing, I wasn't trying to be passive aggressive. I was making a little joke before going into my reasoning.
Okay, all right. Well, as long as you realize that you was way off base, but go ahead.
Yeah, so where I was going with it was that I was disagreeing with the protection part. I wasn't necessarily disagreeing with the fact that men are stuck in survival mode. I was
There's
disagreeing with
nothing,
saying
hold
that they
on,
offer.
right. There's nothing to disagree with. Men tell women they provide protection. That's them offering protection. There's nothing to disagree with.
Okay, that was my bad.
Okay, you can finish your point.
Well, you keep cutting me off from the point that because we were going on different wavelengths, so I don't think that I should finish the point if I'm not going to be able to actually finish it.
No, you can finish
I
it.
thought
Okay.
Alpha was having the conversation.
Who interrupted? No, you can make the point. You can make your point. I'm just letting you know. It was kind of weird, and I get it may have been a joke. If it was accurate, it might have been like, oh, okay, cool. But it was because you was like blatantly wrong. That's why. But like, it's fine. You can make your prompt. You know what I mean? Your comment.
Oh, well, I was just saying that on the offering of the protection part, like I understand that men, in fact, will verbally go and offer protection. It's just what they're offering isn't actually protection. Sweetheart, quit it. You're fine. Sorry, that was my cat, y'all. Is that they're not actually offering protection. 9 times out of 10, they're offering an idea of what they think protection is, which is I should be able to exploit you in my own way to protect you from other people that may want to exploit you. Stop scratching the wall.
How y'all doing?
Nobody invited you into the conversation, sir. Cause you mute up. Did anybody want to respond to what Ray said before Joey goes? Okay, go ahead, Joey. Do you agree or disagree with the prompt?
In a sense, I disagree to a sense because like
I
survival
don't
is.
understand it. I don't understand why y'all you're like the fourth man to come out and say I kinda you disagree. It's not an inner stance. You disagree. Just tell us why you disagree, sir.
I mean, cause like with all these topics dealing with life and it comes in the spectrum. Like, not everybody follows the same idea of what survival is or what protection is in that matter. Just like Ray, what she thinks about what protection is versus what a man thinks protection is, and like survival is necessary.
So do you know what
It, it,
survival
it,
do you know what
huh?
survival mode is?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
You know what survival mode is?
Yeah, for sure.
What's survival mode?
I mean, survival mode is when you putting yourself in this mental state, and protection. Like you gotta do what's necessary to survive.
So even if you had a different definition of survival than another person, survival mode would still look the same, correct?
Depending on who that person is and the morals they stand on. Some people just don't have morals.
But morals don't have nothing to do with survival mode.
I mean, it kind of do.
Right?
Not everybody has the same mindset when it comes to like going into something. Like the man, I can't speak for the man next to me, but when it comes down to it, surviving, I have to do what I deem what is right, in order to stay alive.
Do you think it's possible that you might be in survival mode?
I wouldn't say. I mean, like if it has to come down to it, I mean, I know how to cook, and I know how to fix certain things. I don't know how to fix everything, but if I have to, like, I'll learn. But I'm not in survival mode to where I'm like constantly like guarding my resources, or I'm looking over my back in a sense that I have to worry. Yeah, I'm not in that mindset. No.
Do you feel like men protect women? Or men are protectors? Do you share that belief?
like I said earlier, I can't speak for all men, but like for the men that are doing that, then yeah.
Now I'm asking for you. Do you share that belief that men are protectors or that you're a protector? And that's like,
I'm a protector.
do you think you're a protector because you're a man? Or do you
No,
think,
not just because I'm a man, but I'm a protector because I'm doing what's necessary to make sure that everything is all right and coping steady in the household.
yeah, so you say not just because. So you do think being a man is a component of it. You think that if you were in a room with a bunch of
No.
women, let me ask you a question. If you were in a room with three women, right? Who do you think should
Right.
stand up and be the protector in that case? Do you think one of the women should stand up and protect you, or do you think is you should protect the three women?
I mean, it's based on the situation though. Like if they know something I don't and they're aware of the situation, then by all means, like my life is in your hands and I'm trusting that you got me. But in the same sense, like I'm at the age now where I got a mind of my own. And so I just can't fully like put that burden on someone. And I gotta, put two and two together just in case things fall apart. And that's a part of survival as well. Like you gotta just do what you gotta do.
Yeah, that's all we're
But
gonna ask you. When you say just in case things fall apart, how is that something you in the back of your mind you kind of think about?
yeah, for sure. Like you can't. It's just like when I first learned about cars and stuff. It's nice to have a car. It looks good, but at the same time, you gotta think. All right, what if it breaks down? What if your tire goes flat? Just anything, and you're stuck in the middle of nowhere. You gotta know a little something to get yourself leverage and
But
not just be stuck out and vulnerable.
let's say this. Let's say you was able to get like whatever your dream car is, right?
Right?
And the car is fully insured, right? You have roadside assistance, right? You have a bank account, something happen, you can get out of it. Are you going to still have that same, is that worry going to be back in your mind the same way it would if you didn't have those protections in place?
For sure. You gotta be prepared.
So what you just described is survival mode.
I mean, yeah, but like I'm not just like a animal just constantly like in the
Nobody
fear for
talking.
my life and worrying about where my next meal is gonna come from. I mean, I'm in a state where I know I can go home and I got food waiting on me. And if I don't, like, I'm capable of going to get some. I'm not struggling for it. So I can't necessarily say that I'm completely in survival mode. Like you got living and you got survival. You got to have both of those things to have a balance. You can't live and then at the same breath say, "Oh, I don't got to worry about surviving." Cuz then like you're relying too much on something else out there and you got to put yourself in like what if situations cuz life is unexpected at times and you
Right,
got to prepare yourself for things that come ahead.
so being prepared, I got that. Because that literally is survival mode. But take it away from yourself and just be in general. Do you think like in general that's like a thing that men may believe in society? Like because you heard men say they protect us before, right? Like
Right.
so you know that's something men say.
Right, yeah.
Okay. And the reason why they're saying they're protectors is why.
I mean, when society molds you into something, then you're leading generations down to be conditioned in that sense. To always think that a man is the head of the household or a protector or something. But me growing up in a household full of women and they protected me countless of times.
Hold on, I'm trying to keep it general and keep applying it to yourself. So you believe that through generations, men kind of like are in survival mode, and because of that, they make sure things are in place so that in the future, like if something happens, then they set up for everything to be okay. Correct?
Correct.
Then you agree with the prompt.
But like I said, you gotta have a balance though.
No, no, no,
Like
no. You
I
say,
don't
yeah,
like the people that
yeah.
are like in survival mode. are the people
Sir,
who put.
I'm gonna need you, sir. Just process for a second. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand. Y'all keep saying y'all disagree with parts, and then when y'all start talking, you literally agree with me. You agree that like part of survival mode is putting protections in place for the future. That's like survival mode and protection. I don't understand what the disagreement is for.
It's not a disagreement. It's a agreement to an extent. Cause like I said in the beginning, it's just not as simple as black and white. You know, it's a
Sir,
spectrum. Like you got different
hold up,
factors that
sir,
come into it.
sir. It's a prompt. Like, oh my God. Like, it's a prompt. It's 9 words, I think. It's like 9 words. Sir, you just, based on your own logic, agree. You just said when you was talking about the car, you already had agreed with the prompt. Anything extra was for me to help you understand why you agreed with it.
I agree, but that's why I'm saying to an extent.
Why
It's
to an extent then? Why?
because it's a spectrum. It has different
Who
factors that come into
cares,
play.
sir? Who cares if it's a spectrum if it exists? If it's a spectrum, fine. Add another paragraph to the bottom of the damn prompt. But you don't actually disagree with the prompt.
I agree to an extent. That's just like where I stand. I can't say every man is in survival mode. Like when survival mode, like the term survival mode, when I say it, I
Y'all
think of
capitalists
just
got me. I'll talk to y'all later.
when it's said that way is as if like we're out here as like animals, and you know, I mean there is some men there like that, no doubt.
Sir,
But the men that are actually
sir, my God. This is what's crazy. Y'all want to disagree so much that like you just say you disagree with shit that is your own logic. You literally agree that when men be like, oh, it was passed down through generations, your words, that to make sure that you're ready in case something happens, you have protections in place, sir. You literally agree. What is going on? And you're like, to extent of what? Why does it hurt you so much to say you agree with me, sir? That's what I want to
it's
know.
not hurting. I just said I agree to an extent.
No, but you haven't actually. You just said a
Like,
spectrum. A spectrum would just be more context to a prompt. I'm not gonna put a dissertation on a fucking TikTok prompt, sir.
but that's a topic that's not as simple as black and white though.
Who the fuck said it was? What is going on? That's why it's a prompt that to have a discussion about. The point
That's
is,
what I'm doing.
point
But
is,
like when I'm
listen,
explaining,
stop. The only way your point that you made could be true is if I said there was no spectrum, that it didn't look different for different people. You're just being combative to be combative.
I'm not like you. You want me? You want me to say?
You just disagreeing just to disagree. And if you disagree, that's fine. I'm okay with disagreement. Let's have a conversation. But you're not actually disagreeing with me. You're just being combative. And then when you talk, you just say all these words that mean nothing. What's a Nikki? My God.
I'm not saying I
Okay,
disagree.
no, I moved on, sir. Take a second to process. Take a let. What's up, Nikki? Allie, you want to say something? Anybody else? Anybody else? Goddamn.
I'm actually, excuse me, about to get down. I want y'all to really think about what you're signing yourself up for, right? The constant need to have to be put in place or like stuck in this like mode where you have to always be on guard. It's not healthy, y'all. It's not. And it's bringing y'all, whether you want to admit it or not, more stress than anything. Because even in the hypotheticals that you brought up, Sky, like, oh, what if somebody does this? Or what if somebody does that? Or what are you going to do when you do this? And what are you going to do with, like, the anxiety and the worry that comes with that? It's yes, thank you for that. The paranoia of it all. It's just, it's not healthy. And I think if you spent more time like teaching other men to actually be better men and educating yourselves to be better men, you might not have as much anxiety and worry about it. But that's neither here nor there. I'm a drop Tara.
Wait a minute.
Coming
You
up,
gonna
Allie.
drop?
Hold up. Thanks, Allie.
I,
Wait, what?
Allie
I'm
got. Go ahead.
No,
not
I
trying
can make time. Go ahead,
because
Sky.
I wouldn't say it's like an anxiety thing or a paranoia thing. Because I don't live my life in fear at all. You know, I got a passport. I be having a lot of fun. I take trips. I do things. You know, I have fun. I don't live
Need
my
you to
life in the.
decenter yourself. We are talking about men as a collective. It does not say young Sky offer protection because he's stuck in survival mode. This says
Okay.
men. Now, if you want to throw
Again,
yourself under that umbrella,
let me
feel
throw him
free
in
to
there real
do so.
quick. You practicing escapism, self-soothing, does not mean you don't have anxiety, sir.
Well, okay. I mean, I just don't live in fear.
No,
I
you
guess I
want
would say.
no. You wanted to be in it so bad. And not only did you want to be in it, you just had to throw that caveat. What is it about the word anxiety that triggered you just now?
Because she said we live in anxiety and we live in paranoia, and that's what I just wanted to debunk that. I don't live in it.
Do
I'd
you know
say
what
it's a
anxiety is,
factor.
sir? Do you know what it
Yeah.
looks like? Because it's not always the person who is, rocking back and forth and that you think that they're like having an episode. It's not that. There's a lot of people who are actively walking around, going to work, managing their families and their lifestyle with anxiety, and you would never know. You would never know. Your mother probably suffered from anxiety because there's
Well,
a certain level of anxiety that comes with having children.
would you say she lives in it? She lives in anxiety. She
Go
lives
ask
in.
her. Go ask her. I don't know your mother, but I do know that when it comes to parenthood, it comes with a certain level of anxiety.
Right. I think
But I think
everybody has
you.
anxiety.
So if you know that, then why are you combating
No,
trying
no,
to
because you said
debunk
living.
it?
Because you said living in anxiety. That's the only thing I was
Living
understand.
with, having, being diagnosed, however you want to describe it, sir. I'm sorry I didn't say it the right way you wanted me to say it.
Okay. All right.
But it comes with anxiety. If you feel like you have to have a pew pew in your house to protect your wife and your kids, that comes with a certain measure of anxiety. Not only for the intruder, but also because you have to put it in a place where your young kids don't come around it and they have an accident.
Mm-hmm.
You got to know where to go. It's almost like when we were in school and we were going over like the fire escape plan. Like you have to know all the ins and outs of where to go in case a fire should happen. That comes with a certain measure of anxiety. You don't know when it's going to happen, but you know there is a possibility that it might happen. And what we're saying to you today, sir, if you're listening to the full scope of the message, is that when you feel like you have to offer protection, you are in fact suffering from anxiety because you are in survival mode. You have to. There's no way in the world that you are getting good night's rest if you feel like you are constantly under a state of attack. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I understand, but I don't see why you're making it seem like a constant. You have to be in a constant state of attack to be in survival mode.
Hold up,
I think you
sir.
can be in survival.
Sir. What you afraid? Are you afraid that Allie about to abandon you or something? Like Allie was like she about to drop down and you freaked out and said some crazy shit. And you saying some even crazier shit right now. Are you hold up. Do you think Allie dropping down is abandonment, sir?
You know
Not at all.
what?
Before, while you were gone, me and Ali and the other woman that was here had a great conversation, and I
Yeah,
just
I
kind of
know, and
wanted to
I know.
piggyback.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying though, because you don't want Allie to leave, so you wanted to say something real quick, even though it's ridiculous.
I mean,
Maybe,
yeah,
maybe
sure.
you need to
No, no,
hear.
that really is what's happening, Allie.
Hold
That's
on,
what I'm saying.
let me just maybe you need to like see it from a firsthand experience. So I'm gonna give my experience, right? Because I don't want you to put yourself out there if you feel too exposed. I'm gonna put myself out there. I have anxiety. I'm a mother of one, and she's little. I'm in fear of the state of our country. I'm in fear of the state of the healthcare systems. I'm in fear of the ability that I may not finish school. The economy is to shit now. So like I don't know, maybe we'll have a job, maybe we won't. I know that there's enough food for everyone to have, but because we've lived in this capitalistic society for so long, I don't know to what extent that they're willing to go in order to give the free food and resources that we do have on this good soil that we are in to everyone, that everyone feels comfortable. It's a measure of anxiety, and I'm not afraid to admit that. However, I am not willing to stay stuck in survival mode. I'm doing all that I can right now just to make sure that I'm good, that I'm protected, that my child is protected, but I'm living comfortably. I work from home. I have music. I'm on TikTok right now when I'm supposed to be in a meeting. So you're saying it like, oh, the way that you're saying it, it's not a constant state. It might not be a constant state for men to feel like they have to be protective, but there is some anxiety that surrounds it. It is. When you, I, and Lynn were going over, when you gave the example of if somebody came to rob you and they had a pew pew in their hand, that's obviously something that you worry about because you said that you know people who've experienced it, and you are starting to believe that there is a possibility, while it may not have happened to you yet, hopefully it doesn't, but there is a possibility that it might happen to you in the near future. So I'm thinking in your mind, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you are making sure that you are not vulnerable. Is that correct or incorrect?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, so you are anxious about if that were to happen. So you do things to protect yourself. It puts you in
Okay.
a state of survival mode. Survival mode includes fawning, freezing, fighting, or leaving, flight. And all of us are
Yeah,
different.
honestly, I remember that I said I agree with the prompt. I agree with the prompt because we are in survival mode, but I just said because of the realism of the situation that we are in. Because you just named yourself all these factors of why you have anxiety and why you should be in survival mode. And then you say, but I'm not in survival. Like I don't understand how you could just ignore all the things that you just mentioned, including the ones that I mentioned, and say that I'm not gonna have not live in survival mode, but have this like you have to have characteristics. You have to have things about yourself that make you stay. You have to have factors, and survival mode has to be one of them. I didn't say it has to create and make who you are as a person, but it should be something that you do think about because it's a realistic situation.
Can I feed off what you said, Ali?
I don't get how y'all are missing this, and maybe it's how I'm describing it. Go
Can,
ahead,
can I?
Joey.
So like, uh, anxiety, like one of the root words for it, being anxious. In some sense, it's not just like anxiety, but just being precautious. That don't necessarily mean that you're having anxiety or it's a form of anxiety. It's just being safe and like looking at it through a realistic view. Like you want to be safe, just like how buildings are required to have fire hydrants and like, when you ride a bike, you wear a helmet and some knee pads. It's not that you have an anxiety or you're anxious to fall, but you're being careful so that if it do happen, and it's if, I'm not looking forward to it, but if it
That's
happens,
a
I'm
beautiful
I'm
point.
prepared.
That's a beautiful point.
Yeah, like I'm prepared for it. And there's
Okay,
nothing wrong with being prepared. That so like in that sense, like it's not like that state of survival. Like what I was trying to better illustrate is like a better sense is if you see.
I want y'all to read this. He literally just described anxiety. It says anxiety is a natural emotional and physical response to stress, danger, or uncertainty. Heavy on the uncertainty. It serves as a survival mechanism to alert and prepare the body for potential threats. However, when anxiety becomes excessive, persistent, or disproportionate to the situation, it can interfere with daily life and indicate an anxiety disorder. And this is what I was talking about earlier. I don't know if you two was in the live when I was saying this. Y'all have got to come to terms with emotions and feelings, because hearing the word anxiety gives you anxiety. It sends you through the roof and you don't want to even touch it. You don't want to be associated with it. You think that there's like you have excessive or like extreme anxiety by just confirming that you have anxiety. It is something all of us face and experience. It is something that's normal, unfortunately, and is very real to each individual person. Children can have anxiety. Children, people who only been on this earth for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So hear me clearly when I say I am not trying to disrespect anybody by saying that you have anxiety that surrounds you wanting to be the protector or being protective. What I am saying is because you go into this survival mode, it means that you have become anxious about something, the uncertainty of it all. When we were little kids, when we walk into a dark room, the anxiety that would fill in us is because of the uncertainty, and we were unable to see in front of us what may or may not happen. Hear me clearly. It is not to disrespect. I think y'all are missing the point because you think that we're trying to undermine the man's ability to protect. That's not what this is about. It's more so about, why do you feel like you need to do this? And do you understand the anxiety that surrounds staying stuck in survival mode? Do y'all understand what I'm saying now?
So I
Yeah, I
think,
do. I don't think he was
hold
trying to
on, before
call us
y'all go,
anxious.
hold up, before you go, and what Allie was talking about, like, she knows she feels anxiety. So in order to get out of survival mode that can be induced by anxiety, you can set a plan in place and take certain steps to make yourself feel okay about it. Like, I wasn't there for the conversation, but if y'all talk about like getting something to protect yourself, yeah, it's like it's helping you to soothe yourself to have that protection if you needed it. The part that becomes difficult though, it's just like anybody who goes to like AA or something. You have to admit that is a problem in the first place. And the second part of it is seeking community and connection with other people. That's another thing that y'all struggle with because you're afraid of being vulnerable. So I think take some time to actually see what people are saying before you respond. But thank you for breaking that down, Ellie.
Absolutely. And I'll just leave with this last little bit. I'm gonna stay on the panel clearly, but I'm gonna leave with this. You're using the idea that if you put a helmet on before you ride a bike, is that anxiety? And the answer to that question is yes. Because if you're a parent and you have a young child that's on a bike, the reason why they even invented helmets is to prevent the ability for any type of head injuries for that child. So they see the problem, they notice what they have to do, and they created preventative measures to ensure that that wouldn't happen to the many kids who didn't have the helmets, that they would, like, those numbers would not progressively increase. So that's why you have to put a helmet on. So in a measure, in a certain instance, it is a measure of anxiety, because you don't want your child to fall off their bike and you don't know how they're falling, if they're going head first, maybe they're going bottom first, you never know. But with the security of having a helmet on, it will lessen the numbers of you actually having a head injury.
Yeah, I like to speak on some of the anxiety things she was talking about, because I don't think that I was trying to like be afraid of anxiety, because I'll be a little vulnerable here and say that I have experienced anxiety. I think everybody will experience anxiety in their life. I walked into places before and was just trying to see like what are people's perception of me, how am I dressed right now, do I look good, even if it's just fear, even though that's a factor. Like sometimes it's just perspective of how you are looking, if you're walking funny, and I've felt anxiety in that way before, definitely. But back on, like, definitely speaking on, I don't want to just make this the main point, but it was a great point that Joey said about the bike situation, because it's adults too. Like, motorcycles do exist, and people have, whole crash suits. It's not that it's an anxiety, it's just it's a safety precaution. It's something that that there is a possibility, even if it's a slim chance, that there is a possibility that a drunk driver could hit you off of your motorcycle and you can go flying in the air. Why would you not wear it? Would be kind of unintelligent for you to not wear the protective gear that they offer. It would be like, I don't know why someone wouldn't put on protective gear if they're getting in that situation, knowing what could happen. Even if you drive 9 times out of 10, you're going to make it home safely. But you never know. And that never know is very important.
Thank you for dropping the definition, by the way. I mean, I didn't get the full extent of the definition, but I understand where y'all coming from. It just, in a sense, and I'm going to say this before I drop down, it's like, I wouldn't see smoke and then wait for fire to happen type situation. Just like take precaution.
One
I'm
thing,
in survival mode, but like, and then people put themselves in situations where they're like that. Like I was about to explain earlier, like there's people who put themselves in positions where they have to look over their shoulder. And I say some people. And some people are born that way, where they're in areas where they have to be in survival mode and it can't be helped. But
so
that's why I said
hold
that there
on.
gotta be a balance between living and then surviving.
Y'all get
Like you
preachy.
can't live without,
Sir,
the other.
sir, we got it, but y'all get a little preachy. Since you about to drop, let me just say
Wow.
that, because you had no reason to disagree with me, but you felt like you needed to.
I never
Um,
disagreed.
okay, all right, okay, I got it. What's up? Just minding my business. How you doing?
Hey, just being real.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and start by responding to the prompt. Men offer protection because they're stuck in survival mode. I 100% agree, because they feel that they need to dangle that over somebody's head, because we're a scarcity source. Women are not, vibing what they got to put down, especially when women can protect themselves. And the mental gymnastics that was going on just a moment ago was crazy. Crazy. Y'all don't have to come up here to argue all the time. Y'all don't have to always come up here and debate. Sometimes just listen. And if you agree, why has there got to be a caveat to you agreeing? Just say that's a very good point. Take that point and stick it in the back of the burner. Because these ladies are extending themselves, giving explanations after explanations, but there's still a but and a maybe, and I didn't mean, and a not all men. Ali, thank you so very much for the explanation. That was excellent. But he still came back with his bicycle and his motorcycle and went way out the way to disagree. It was weird. And I like these conversations. Tara always has great topics, but it seems like people miss the point where we got to break down simple definitions.
Well, that's why I keep saying, I know who my target audience is, and I don't say men are case studies just to be like on some shit. It's because I know that they don't respect me enough to listen to me because of the misogyny and misogyny war or whatever. I don't give a fuck about that. So it's like when I'm talking to them, I'm trying to demonstrate how like they're purposely not trying to see the point. They're purposely just trying to like argue the point. They're purposely trying to like gaslight anything to just disagree for the sake of disagreeing. Because for them, if they could be like, I disagree and get a point across, for some reason they feel like, oh, they conquered me or some shit like that. And it's not just me, women, period. That's why like it's no point in trying to explain shit to them because it's not only is it labor, but you're not wasting your energy. There's no point.
Shout out to Disney and Pixar. Y'all go watch that movie though. Cause good God.
Not you still want to spoil a movie.
Good God.
No. Mute your mic. Yeah, I think this might be a good point to like bring this to an end. But yeah, and if somebody not going live late, I might come back later. But essentially, like, yeah, men do walk around in survival mode in a way that I don't think resonate with women because again, we tend to look for community and we tend to process what we're going through. That's why you can have a young girl and a boy in the same community. They both go through the same situations, and for the boy, he'll have arrested development in a way that the girl doesn't, because being able to process and connect with other people and get validation, that does a lot for your psyche. But men have been conditioned to reject that and not to see it as weak. And it's just interesting. I mean, I don't even read shit, but when you see your healing as weak, then what does that really mean? Like, I don't know. And it's like they try to come to us like, we can protect y'all. No, you're dangerous because you're constantly worried about somebody trying to get you. You're not even thinking about me. And your reason for coming to me in the first place is for your own survival, is not for mine. What's up, Dark Horse?
I just came up to say that if you could send me a text about 7:30 when we calling off work and we going live during the day, I appreciate it because I went to work. So I couldn't come on today.
I said it yesterday. I said no.
I missed all of that. Where was I at when that happened?
Y'all told me, hold up, because I believe you was part of this. I said I need to fix who I'm sharing, and you like, no, don't worry about that. Still share. No matter of fact, it was you.
It was me. I came in here.
Said it. Hold up. It was you. You were the one.
Yes.
All right. So let me say what you said to yourself. Because you told me, no, don't worry about that. Just share it to the same people. And like we'll deal with it on the back end on the Discord, right? And I know some people hit the bell, so whenever they get that notification. So like I'm in confusion. I'm confused.
I've been here for the entire live.
I
ain't missed nothing. Listen.
I was going to take actions to fix the names that pop up when I share. You told me, no, don't do that. Stay there, do this instead. And then when I did the thing, you like, well, why you ain't do this? You are confusing me.
Listen, that's not what I'm talking about. I've been in your live the whole time. I said, why you go live while I'm at work? Yesterday, let me know to take PTO and we calling off today. It got to be a group call off, Tara. I couldn't come up. I'm still working. I don't get off for another 20 minutes and I'm mad. I couldn't come on a panel. So you got to go live tonight. I get the alerts. I've been in here the whole time. Yeah, I've been here the whole time. But I can't be working and talking sometimes. These customers on my nerves. I'm just jealous that I missed. This is a good damn live. This is a good live day.
I'm gonna go live later. It's gonna be messier than this though. I'm off for next week. I can't wait till next week. Oh my goodness, I should have took Tuesday off too. Shit. But
yeah. I like that we got a holiday week coming up. It's gonna be very sexy next week. But yeah, I've been here the whole time. I don't miss any of I don't miss no lives on the day. I just can't talk, so I'd be mad. I can't come up. But it's all right. I am back for tonight. Anytime. I'll be back this evening. Hopefully I can come up, especially if it's messy. I'll come up
Thank you, Prince.
tonight.
Thank you, Prince. I did say something. She definitely came up here and gaslit me, but that's okay.
I said you was off work. Don't be calling off. Don't call off without me next time. That's all I said. I got a little bit of PTO. I got a little something. I can do a little something sometime. Half a day or something. Shit. Because you came on about lunchtime. I think you did. You came on about 12-ish. And I was like, see, this could have been a half day. I could have been up here roasting niggas. Look at me. Missing out.
No,
we
we
had
ain't doing
plenty of
roasting.
ops.
There's gonna be plenty of roasting later.
Yeah. All right,
We
baby.
might want to start with a 1v1 for like the first 15 minutes to get more people in. Because like I said, it's different depending on the beginning of the live. So I'm gonna try that today.
Yeah, work real well Sunday. I'm down for that.
See, I don't know if Lynn was still gonna go live today. I don't know what's going on with her. But if not, yeah, I'll have a topic. Y'all, I'm still trying to. Y'all gave it to her. Okay. I'm trying to get to 50 subscribers. I need 8. I got 4 I can match with. They like $5.99 a piece for myself also. But can y'all support, like some of y'all got it. Like y'all got it. Support the live.
For sure.
I need to get on my shit so I can work from home and I can yap all the time because I love yapping. I feel like they got me hostage in this damn school, but I need
James
to.
talking about sending some ribs. I don't know who started the ribs problem. I got ribs right now from yesterday. It was my fault. I just started the rib shit in the group.
No, my son will eat all this shit. I'm over here struggling for real. Like for real. If you knew how bad it was, like he eat everything. Like what the fuck is going on? Allie, I feel like your picture low key been messy. Yeah, y'all see it.
Allie, I saw the movie in the theaters. I took the kids to see it. We went to eat. We went to the little cinema cafe.
No. Y'all ain't about y'all ain't about to sit up here and talk about the movie because Allie been trying to spoil it since early.
It was a little too adult. I think
No, that's it. We don't need no details. What you talking about? That wasn't.
You can thank us later.
No, we ain't talking about none of that.
Thank us later.
Messy as hell. Thank y'all to everybody who came up and supported the live. Thank you to the
Thank you, Tara.
Can't do it without y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Bye, Allie.
Bye.